Ayan. So, okay, ayan, live na. Sige, Mayan, the floor is yours. You can start
Okay.
again your review session. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
okay, ma'am. Again, good afternoon, everyone. For this session, okay, let me first share my screen. We'll discuss about contemporary mathematics. Okay. Okay. So under this, we'll discuss the following topics: plane geometry. We have the lines and curves, polygons, triangles and quadrilaterals, and angles. Also, we will discuss about some important topics under elementary algebra, which are algebraic expressions, polynomials, linear equations, and linear inequalities. Last, we have the statistics and probability. So under this, we will have the measures of central tendency, the counting techniques, and last, the probability of an event. Okay, let's start with the plane geometry. For plane geometry, first it has defined line. So line is straight, one-dimensional figure that has no thickness and extends endlessly in both directions. So this is the model for this is can be named as line AB, or we can use this symbol. This one. Okay. I have my laser pointer. Okay. So one. This can also be written as like this. And for line segment, so this is a part of a line having two endpoints. So for the model, we have this. So this is an example of a line segment. So this written as or can be written using this symbol. So the points or the letter dun sa points, we have A, B, and the symbol is line. Ano? Yung line above the two letters, A, B. And kapag line, may arrow dun sa two parts no dun sa left and sa right. And kapag line segment, walang arrow. For array, it is a part of uh, line that has a fixed starting point but no end point. So it can extend infinitely in one direction. So this is the example of array. So you can see here na there's a point here and then arrow the other side. Okay, this is the model. Array AB or in symbol, you have this symbol, line with an arrow, one arrow lang, and then the two given points, A, B. The curve is a smoothly flowing continuous line that has bent. So it does not have any sharp turns, curve. For example, we have this, and this one, and this one. Okay. We also have the collinear points. I mean the points that lie in the same line. So we have point A, point B, and point C. Since they lie in the same line, they are collinear points. And when we say non-collinear, you can see here that they do not lie at the same line. So that's why they are called non-collinear. So we have point P, point Q, point R, and point S. They are non-collinear points. Next, we have the types of lines. You have the intersecting lines. You can see the figure. They intersect parallel lines. Wait lang ha. And for perpendicular lines, so two lines that form a 90-degree angle here. Called again, we have the intersecting lines. So this is the point of intersection of these two lines, the parallel line. They do not intersect. And last, we have the perpendicular lines, line that form 90 degrees. Ano? Okay. Ito. Next, we have this formula. So, you can use this formula to easily solve some problems related to line segments, race. So, to determine the number of line segments formed from n distinct number of collinear and non-collinear points, you can use this formula, n times the quantity of n minus 1 all over 2, where n is the number of collinear or non-collinear points. And if ray, the number of rays formed from n distinct number of collinear points given by this expression, 2 times the quantity of n minus 1. So you can write this down sa index card nyo. And for the number of rays formed from n distinct number of non-collinear points, okay, see the difference, ah? For collinear, meaning they lie in the same line, this is the formula, 2 times the quantity of n minus 1. Well, if the points are non-collinear, you have to use this, n times the quantity of n minus 1. So you can directly solve for the number of rays, the number of line segments. For example, how many line segments and rays can be formed from 6 collinear points? Hope without drawing or kahit di nyo siya illustrate, by using the formula, you can easily determine the number of line segments and rays. So for line segments, we have this formula, n times the quantity of n minus 1 all over 2. Just substitute the value of n, which is 6. So you have 6 times 6 minus 1. So you have 5 times 6 is 30 divided by 2. You have 15. And for the number of rays formed, since these points are collinear, we have to use this formula. 2 times the quantity of n minus 1, so 6 minus 1 is 5 times 2. So you have 10. But there are 10 rays and 15 line segments. Okay, now let us have the angle. Angle is a figure formed by two rays meeting at a common endpoint. Okay, these are the two rays, ray OA and ray OB. And this one is their a common endpoint, vertex O. And this is the angle. Okay, and there are different types of angles. The acute angle, so just look at the figure, measures between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. And for right angles, right angle measure exactly 90 degrees. And obtuse angles, okay, we have here, for example, we have 135 degrees here, so between 90 and 180 degrees. And for straight angles, remember that the measure of a straight angle is 180 degrees. And for the reflex angle, this is the rotation of the degrees of the angle from here up to here. We have 240 degrees. Okay, reflex angle between 180 and 360 degrees. And for complete angles, that angle measure 360 degrees, exactly 360. Okay. Next, we have the interior and exterior angles. When we say interior, they are the angles formed within or inside a shape. So, for example, we have here this the interior angle, and it's also an interior angle. And for exterior angles, these are angles formed outside, between any side of a shape and a line extended from the adjoining side. For example, we have here an exterior angle. Okay, this is the ray of that angle, and this one is the extended, the line extended from the adjoining side. So this that line. Okay, CD. Okay, next we have the pairs of angle, the adjacent, those angles that share a side. So for example, we have angle 1 and angle 2. They share a common side, which is this line. This is ray, which is this ray. And for congruent, angles with the same measure. Okay. For example, okay, I think this measures 45 degrees, and this one also measures 45 degrees. So these angles are congruent. And for supplementary angles, these are two angles whose sum is 180 degrees. So 30 degrees and 150 degrees are supplementary because 150 plus 30 is 180 degrees. And for vertical angles, opposite angles made by two intersecting lines. So we have here angle 1 and angle 2. So they are called vertical angles. And for complementary angles, so two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. So we have here an example, 50 degrees and 40 degrees. So 50 plus 40 is 90. So these angles are complementary. And last, we have the linear pair. So these are two angles that form a line. So meaning their sum is also 180 degrees because they form a line. Ano? Again, we have the adjacent, congruent, supplementary, vertical, complementary, and the linear pair. Okay, next we have the polygon. This is a shape with straight sides. The parts of the polygon are the edges or sides. So these are the straight lines, and the vertices are the corners. So for the vertex, we have here the vertex, here, 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 and here. And then the edge or side, so we have here one side, another side here, 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 and here. Okay. Interior angles and exterior angles of a polygon. So ito lang yung kanina, and you can see here that interior angles and exterior angles form a linear pair. Diba? So their sum must be equal to 180 degrees. Names of polygon. I know you're familiar with this. For 3, we have 3, or the name is a triangle. For 4, we have the prefix quad, quadrilateral. For 5, we have penta, pentagon. And 6, hexa, hexagon. 7, heptagon. Okay, huwag kang confused dito ha. Basta sa 6, we have hex, hexagon. And for 7, hepta, heptagon. And 8, octa. Alam niyo naman yung octa, 8 octagon. And 9, nona, nonagon. 10, decagon. 11, ang decagon. In some, parang ano dito, undecagon yung tawag, no? And for 12, the decagon. Okay. And for some other polygons, n-gon na yung tawag, ano, n-gon. Okay, these are the illustrations of the polygons. We have there the triangle, the quadrilateral, the pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, and decagon. Okay, aside from that, there are other ways to classify polygons. We can classify them based on their lengths. For convex polygon, this is a polygon that has all its interior angles less than 180 degrees. And all the diagonals of a convex polygon lie inside the closed figure. So for example, we have here a convex polygon. So this is convex. And you can easily differentiate that from concave. This is a polygon having at least one of its interior angles measuring more than 180 degrees, and some diagonals of a concave polygon lie outside the closed figure. So ito yun. So this is an example of a concave polygon. Okay, see the difference between them. Convex, concave. Aside from that, we can also classify them based on their interior lengths. Okay, if a polygon is a regular polygon, it has also it is a polygon having all sides of equal length and all interior angles of equal measure. Okay, a regular polygon is thus both equilateral and equiangular since they have equal lengths and equal measure ng interior angles. And opposite, we have the irregular polygon, a polygon that has sides of unequal length and angles of unequal measure. So any polygon that is not regular is thus an irregular polygon. Okay, we have here some examples of irregular polygons. So for regular polygons, you can see here an equilateral triangle. And for irregular polygons, you have the scalene. Then other irregular polygons. You can easily determine naman the regular and then the irregular. No? Okay. Let us now discuss this further, the regular polygons. Okay, for equilateral triangle, we have this diagram. So each interior angle of an equilateral triangle measures 60 degrees, and the sum of their interior angle the interior angle of equilateral triangle is 180 degrees. And for exterior angle, the sum is 120 degrees, and the sum of its exterior angles is 360 degrees. And for square, each interior angle measures 90 degrees, and the sum of the interior angles is 360 degrees. And for exterior angles, still 90 degrees, and same lang naman yan. Lahat yan, 360 degrees, sum of exterior angles. And for regular pentagon, we have 108 degrees, 540, 72, and so on. Also have here for regular hexagon, the regular heptagon, and the regular octagon. Now, do we need to memorize all of this? No, because we have a formula for finding the sum of the interior angles and then the sum also of the interior angle. So that is given by this formula. The sum of interior angles is equal to the quantity of n minus 2 or n minus 2 times 180 degrees where n is the total number of sides of the polygon. So by using this formula, kahit hindi nyo ma-memorize yun, can sila solve for the sum of the interior angles. And if you just want to find the measure of each interior angle, just use this. You have interior angle is equal to 180 degrees times the quantity of 1 minus 2 all over n. Still, n is the total number of sides of the polygon. Take note of these formulas. This is for the sum, and this one is to find the measure of each interior angle for regular polygon. For the sum, there's no formula here. Basta alam niyo na agad na the sum of exterior angles in any polygon is always 360 degrees. Kahit anong polygon yan. The sum of their exterior angles is always 360 degrees. So, to determine the measure of each exterior angle, just divide 360 degrees by the number of sides or the total number of sides. So, that is 360 degrees divided by n. Okay. Aside from these formulas, you can also determine the number of distinct triangles from a given polygon using this formula. So we have n minus 2. So for example, in a pentagon, how many triangles are there? So 5 minus 2, you have 3. So three distinct triangles. And for the number of diagonals, we also have a formula. Kahit di kayo mag-draw nung kung ilang diagonals ang pwede sa give isang polygon, you can just use this formula. So that is n times the quantity of n minus 3 all over 2. Now, just substitute the total number of sides, then simplify. No? Okay. Example, what is the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a pentagon? Okay, so using the sum of the measures, so we will use this formula, n minus 2 times 180 degrees. So 5 minus 2 is 3 times 180 degrees, 540 degrees. So kahit di nyo siya i-add, no? Mas madali siya. Okay, next. A polygon has 20 diagonals. So what is the polygon? So here naman ay we need to determine the polygon. So we need to determine the number of sides. So we know that the formula for finding the number of diagonals of a polygon is given by this formula, n times the quantity of n minus 3 all over 2. So we know the number of diagonals, so substitute 20 is equal to n times the quantity of n minus 3 over 2. So we need to solve for the value of n. Just cross multiply, 20 times 2 is 40. So if we will solve this using algebra, you'll arrive at a quadratic equation. But since our target naman here is 40, ano ba yung factors ng 40? Di ba 4? So, but pag if we substitute 4 here, hindi 40 yung magiging answer. So, ano pa? Yung 8. So, let us try 8. 8 times 8 minus 3, 8 minus 3 is 5. Right, 8 times 5 is 40. Therefore, the value of our n here is 8. And since there are 8 sides, that polygon is an octagon. Okay, so the polygon is an octagon. Okay. Next, we will focus on the properties of triangle. A three-sided polygon, again, different triangles here, the equilateral. So for the properties, all sides are same length and all angles are 60 degrees. And for the right angle, so one of the angles has to be 90 degrees, denoted by a square. So this one, the sign that this angle measures 90 degrees. And for the right angle, we also have the Pythagorean theorem. So again, Pythagorean theorem states as a square of the hypotenuse equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. That is, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. For example, need to find the value of a here. We'll derive the formula to solve for a. So you have a is equal to the square root of the difference of the square of 13 and 12. 13 squared minus 12 squared. So simplify. You have 169 minus 144 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. And that is how you use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the lengths of side of a right triangle. Okay, aside from that, we also have the scalene. So if the triangle is an scalene triangle, all sides and all angles are different. So, magkakaiba ng length, magkakaiba ng sides, and also yung angles. Iba-iba rin yung sides. Okay, for isosceles, okay, we have here a symbol. So meaning the two sides are the same length. So these are the dashes, meaning the length of this is equal to the length of this. And since these lengths are equal, the two angles also, or the base angles of the isosceles are also the same. So this angle is equal to the measure of this angle. Next, we have the quadrilaterals. These are the shapes that have four sides and four angles. So for a square, okay, all angles are 90 degrees. So you have 90, 90, 90, and all sides are the same length. Parehas sila. Then diagonals are the same length also, equal. The length of this is equal to the length of this. And the diagonals bisect at 90 degrees. So they form a 90-degree angle here. For rectangle, all angles are also 90 degrees, and its opposite sides are of the same length. And their diagonals are also the same length, and the opposite sides are parallel. So this one is this part is parallel to this part, and then this one is parallel to this. Okay, we have the rhombus. In a rhombus, opposite angles are the same. So this angle is equal to, or the measure of these angles is equal to the measure of this, and this measure of this equal to the measure of this angle. Same with square, all sides of a rhombus are the same, and adjacent angles sum to 180 degrees. So meaning the sum of this and the sum of and the measure of this and the measure of this is equal to 180 degrees. Different length diagonals, okay? The length of this is not equal to the length of the other diagonal. And also, diagonals bisect at 90 degrees. And again, opposite sides are parallel. So this one is parallel to this. And also, this side is parallel to this side. For parallelogram, opposite angles are the same. Okay. So you have here equal angles. And for adjacent angles, sum to 180 degrees. So the measure of this angle plus the measure of this angle is equal to 180 degrees. Same with this, 180, 180, then 180. Opposite sides are the same. Oh, this one and this one, they are the same. And same with these sides. And opposite sides of parallelogram or parallel. For the trapezium, the two sides or the opposite sides here are parallel. So this side and then this side. Now for the kite, two pairs of sides of equal length, and then one pair of diagonally opposite angles, and the diagonals bisect at 90 degrees. So as you can see in the figure, so you have here a 90-degree angle here. Okay, those are some of the quadrilaterals and their properties. Okay, later on we will have the practice test items. Now let us first discuss the elementary algebra. Okay, recall again of your lessons, college algebra. We will begin with the algebraic expression. This is a combination of variables and numbers using the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, as well as powers or roots. For example, we have x plus 6. This is an algebraic expression. X minus 6, 6x, x over 6, 3x plus 5, x squared minus 3, and square root of x plus 7. So these are some algebraic expressions. Okay. For the term, this is any constant or variable or indicated product or quotient or roots of constants and variables. So for example, in 3x squared plus 2x minus 3, there are three terms. So we have 3x squared, 2x, and the last term is negative 3. For coefficient, this is a factor in a term. Okay, so for 7x, the coefficient of x here is 7. And for negative 9y, the coefficient is negative 9. And for z, hindi na sinusulat yan kapag 1. So the coefficient of z here is 1. And for negative 3, the coefficient stops since this is a constant. No. Let's also recall the different properties of real numbers. You have the commutative property, means that changing order when adding does not affect the sum. So, for example, 13 plus 7 is still equal to 7 plus 13, no? Yun pa rin siya. That's why commutative, changing order. And for multiplication, same lang din. So if we multiply square root of 2 times square root of 5, this is just the same as multiplying square root of 5 and the square root of 2. Same with x times x, that is also equal to 6 times x. Another property, we have the associative property. This is for grouping. For commutative, we have the order. For associative naman, we have the grouping. So when adding does not affect the sum. So even we group 8 and 6 or 3 and 8, we'll still arrive at this answer, which is 11 plus x. Because 8 plus x and then 3 plus 8 is 11, and then we group the two constants here. We have 3 plus 8, so 11 and plus x. So we cannot add this kasi this one is a constant and this one is a variable. So we cannot add them. For the associative property of addition, so changing grouping when adding, wait, parang naulit lang. Add na tayo sa multiplication. So changing grouping when multiplying does not affect the product. So negative 3x is still the same with negative 2 times 3, then times x. No? So dito, nakagroup yung 3x. And here naman, we group negative 2 and 3. So if we multiply this, we'll still arrive negative 6x. Okay, commonly used property, the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Here we will just distribute, we'll just multiply. Multiplication distributes over addition. So for example, so we have here 7 times the quantity of 4 plus the square root of 3. So we will just multiply 7 and 4. So you have 7 times 4, 28, and then 7 times the square root of 3, you have 7 square root of 3. Another example, we have 5 times 3x, that is 15x, and 5 times 7, you have 35. That is how you apply the distributive property. And for the identity property of addition, remember that the identity property is 0. So ano yung pwedeng i-add mo dun sa given number na yun pa rin yung magiging result. So that is 0 because any number added to 0 is still the same number. So a square root of 3 plus 0 is still square root of 3, and 0 plus 6x is also still 6x. For multiplication, any number multiplied by 1 is still the same number. So the identity property or the identity of multiplication is 1. Okay, because 1 times pi is still pi, and 13x times 1 is still 13x. Another one, we have the inverse property of addition. So the sum of real number and its inverse gives the additive identity or the identity of the addition. So we have Well, positive plus negative is we have the subtraction. Now we subtract those two numbers because they have different signs. Since they are the same numbers pareho, so automatic zero yung answer. For example, square root of 5 plus negative square root of 5, that is 0. Negative pi plus pi is 0 also, and 6x plus negative 6x 0. Same with negative 4y plus 4y is also 0. And for the multiplications, to just get the reciprocal of the given number. So that is the product of a non-zero real number and its multiplicative inverse gives 1, the multiplicative identity. Okay, for example, we have 7 times 1 over 7. So we'll just cancel out this. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. So parehas 1 yan. So equal sa 1. Yung iba ginagawang 0, no? Pero so equals to 1. Same with this. If we multiply 1 over x minus 3 by x minus 3, we can just cancel this and then cancel this. The answer will be equal to 1 where x is not equal to 3 kasi magiging undefined if the value of x here is 3. As 1 divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, after that, we have the evaluating algebraic expression. So when we evaluate an algebraic expression, meaning we find the value of the expression for a given value of the variable. And here, we also follow the order of operations agreement. No? We perform the operations within the innermost parenthesis and work outward. So if the algebraic expression involves a fraction, we will treat the numerator in the denominator as if they were each enclosed in parentheses. And after that, evaluate all exponential expression, and same with the PEMDAS rule, you need to perform multiplications and divisions as they occur from left to right, same with addition and subtraction. Example, evaluate 7 plus 5 times the quantity of x minus 4 raised to 3 for x is equal to 6. So just substitute the value of x and replace x with 6. So lahat lang papalitan ng 6. Yung x, so you have 6 minus 4. So subtract first. So 6 minus 4 is 2. Raised to 3, that is 2 times 2 times 2. Common mistake, ginagawang 2 times 3. But since ito exponent, you have 2 times 2 times 2. You have 2 cube, that is equal to 8. After that, multiply 5 times 8, that is 40 plus 7. After that, add, so 47. That is the result. So 47. Okay, another, we have the simplifying an algebraic expression. We say that an algebraic expression is simplified when parentheses have been removed and like terms have been combined. But there are some cases na kino-combine, no, kahit hindi like terms ng iba. So make sure na yung kino-combine niyo na terms are like terms. Okay, they are like terms if they have the same variable, no. Okay, constant to constant, and combine nyo yung with the same variable lang. Hindi pwede yung, halimbawa, for x, y plus x. So, you cannot combine them kasi x, y is x. Okay, example. Simplify 6 times the quantity of 2x squared plus 4x plus 10 times the quantity of 4x squared plus 3x. Oh, we need to apply here the distributive property since we have a constant here outside the parenthesis. So, multiply 6 times 2x squared, that is 12x squared, and 6 times 4x, that is 24x, and distribute 10. You have 10 times 4, 40x squared, and 10 times 3, you have 30x. Then combine like terms, so we have here 12x squared and 40x squared. So they have the same variable, which is x squared. And for 24x and 30x, they also have the same variable, which is x. So can add both of them. So 12 plus 40 is 52, and 24 plus 30, x is 54x. So wala na, no? Nagdo-combine na to since they are not like terms. So they contain different variable factors, x squared and x, and cannot be combined. So if ito'y x din, so we can combine them. But since this one is x squared, so this will be your final answer. Okay, another properties. Properties of negatives. So let A and B represent real numbers, variables, or algebraic expression. Okay, negative 1 times A is negative A. For example, we have here negative 1, negative times 4xy. The answer is negative 4xy. And if we have a negative number inside the parenthesis and we have negative sign here outside the parenthesis, so what will be the answer? It will become positive. So example, we have negative times negative 6y. So negative times negative is positive. So the answer is 6y. Here naman, negative a times b, we just multiply. So since they have different signs, so the answer is negative. For example, we have negative 7 times 4xy. Just multiply the constants. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28, and just copy the variables. So you have xy. For this, just to come, ito naman, negative lang yung b. So you have 5x times negative 3y. And multiply the constants. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Just multiply the variables x times y. So you have xy. The final answer here is negative 15 xy. Okay, dito kayo careful sa pag mayroong negative sign, then mayroon pang series of operations inside the parenthesis. So here you need to distribute the negative sign. So negative times a, you have negative a, and negative times positive b, you have negative b. For example, negative times 7x plus 6y. So negative times 7x, that will be negative 7x. And negative times positive 6y, so that is also negative 6y. So no need to combine since they have different variables. And last, for this, we have negative 8. Ito naman, negative naman yung nasa loob ng parenthesis. So we have negative times quantity of a minus b. Again, distribute the sign. Negative times a is negative a, and negative times negative b is equal to positive b. Or you can write this as b minus a. Okay, so for example, you have negative times the quantity of 3x minus 7y, and that is negative 3x times negative, that is positive 7y. So just rewrite this in this form kasi most of the time sinusulat natin na nasa unahan yung positive kapag sa expressions. So you have 7y minus 3x. Okay. Forgot the properties of negatives. Especially this, ito lang naman yung usually na kinakalituhan, no? Once na may parenthesis na. But ito naman, usual na, alam kong medyo alam niyo na siya, no? Hindi niyo siya nalilimutan. Okay, let us simplify this. Simplify 8x plus 2 times the quantity of 5 minus the quantity of x minus 3. Okay, the first thing we need to do here is to simplify this one. So the parenthesis. So we need to distribute the sign. So negative times x is negative x, and negative times negative 3 is positive 3. After this, we can now combine the two constants, which are 5 and 3. So you have 5 plus 3, 8 minus x. So since we have a number here, let us apply again the distributive property. So you have 2 times 8, 16. 2 times negative x is negative 2x. So since 8x and negative 2x are like terms, you can combine them. So 8x minus 2x is 6x, and just write the constant, which is 16. Okay, so the final answer is 6x plus 16. Or pwede rin if factor pa to, no? Pwede nating i-out yung 2. But later on, we will discuss with factoring. Okay, this is what I'm saying kanina, the properties of exponents. Okay? For the first property, the negative exponent rule. So if b is any real number other than 0 and n is a natural number, then b raised to negative n is equal to 1 over b raised to n. So if the exponent of a number or of any real number is negative, you can write this as 1 over 5 over 3. No, ilalagay nyo lang siya sa ilalim. So, laging 1 over. Tapos, you can now simplify. So since 5 cubed is 125, so 5 raised to negative 3 is equal to 1 over 125. And for this, so we have 1 over 4 raised to 1 over 4 raised to negative 2. So since fraction na to, so ito naman gagawin natin. Igagawin pa natin siyang fraction na 1 over b over n. So 4 raised to negative 2 is 1 over 1 over 4 squared. So then just get the reciprocal of this, diba? The reciprocal of 1 over 4 squared is 4 squared over 1. Then multiply by 1, you have 4 squared. And 4 squared is equal to 4 times 4 equals 16. Again, reciprocal. Kukunin nyo lang 4 squared over 1. Next, for the zero exponent rule, ito na-mention ko na kanina. If b is any real number other than 0, then b raised to 0 is equal to 1. So here we have 7 zeros equal to 1, and negative 5 raised to 0 is equal to 1, and negative times 5 raised to 0 is now equal to negative 1 since only 5 is raised to the 0 power. So, not included yung negative sign. That's why still negative pa rin yung answer natin. Okay, so don't forget to consider this, the parenthesis. Another one, we have the product rule. So if b is a real number or algebraic expression and m and n are integers, okay, the product of b raised to m and b raised to n is equal to b raised to the sum of their exponents. So for example, you have 2 squared times 2 cubed. They have the same base. O, parehas 2. This is only applicable sa same base, ha. So just add the exponents, ha. Copy, then add the exponent. So you have 2 plus 3 is 5. Then evaluate. 2 raised to 5 is equal to 32. And here, still, they have the same base, which is x. Can add the exponent. So negative 3 plus 7 is 4. So the answer here is x raised to 4. Now for the power rule, okay, if b is a real number or algebraic expression and m and n are integers, so kapag nakaganito na siya, nakamultiply, so b raised to m raised to n is just b raised to the product of m and n. For example, you have 2 squared raised to 3. So just multiply 2 and 3. So you have 6, and evaluate 2 raised to 6, you have 64. And for the other one, the variables naman, so 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And since it's still a negative, we can apply the first rule. We can express this as 1 over x raised to 12. Okay, that is for the power rule. Next, for the quotient rule, so kapag ganito, multiply. Then dito naman, multiply, add. And if quotient naman, if b is a non-zero real number or algebraic expression, m and n are integers, b raised to m over b raised to n, or b raised to m divided by b raised to n is equal to b raised to the difference of the two exponents. So kapag naka-divide, subtract. No, pag naman ganun lang, naka-times na ganito, add, kapag may parenthesis, multiply. Pag quotient, minus yung exponents ng same base. Okay, for this, since same base uli, 8 minus 4 is 4, so 2 raised to 8 over 2 raised to 4 is just 2 raised to 4, which is equal to 16. And for x cube over x raised to 7, so kapag mas mataas, yung exponent dito sa denominator, automatic negative yun. So nandun pa rin siya sa ilalim. So matitira siya dun sa ilalim. Kasi express pa natin siya as 1 over x raised to that exponent. So for this, we have 3 and 7. So you have 3 minus 7. X is equal to negative 4. X raised to negative 4. And that is equal to 1 over x raised to 4. Or pwedeng hindi nyo na siya ganitohin. Pwede nang diretso dito sa 1 over x raised to 4. So, titingnan nyo lang kung nasaan yung mas mataas na exponent. So, since 7 is higher than 3. So, asan yung exponent or yung difference dapat na exponent nila? Andun sa denominator since 7 is greater than 3. Okay, another rule, we have the products raised to powers. Ang product, then naka-raise pa sa power. So here naman, all you have to do is to distribute na lang the exponent, no? You have to raise each factor to that power. For example, we have negative 2y and we have the parenthesis raised to 4. So both of them will be raised to 4. So you have negative 2 raised to 4 and y raised to 4. Just simplify, you have 16y raised to 4. And for this, so lahat sila i-raise nyo sa 3. Distribute nyo yung 3. 3, so you have negative 2 cube, then x cube, y cube. So simplify yung negative 2 raised to 3. So since it's a negative number and raise sa odd number, the answer is negative. No, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 times another negative 2, you have negative 8. And x cube, y cube. Last, we have the quotients raised to power. So, same lang din naman yon, i-distribute niya lang din yung exponent. So, if the given like this, so we have 2 over 5. So, just distribute 2 raised to 4 and you will have 5 raised to 4 in the denominator. Just simplify, 2 raised to 4 is 16 and 5 raised to 4 is 625. So, the same applies for this. So, gagawin nyo lang dyan. So, you just put this negative sign here dun sa numerator. So, you have negative 3 cube, that is negative 27. Then just also distribute the power to the denominator, to the variable, the denominator. So you have x cubed. Now the final answer is negative 27 over x cubed. Okay, these are some common mistakes. Okay, we have here b cubed times b raised to 4. Okay, since the operation here is multiplication, so sometimes minumultiply siya. So instead of adding, ginagawang multiplication kasi nalilito sa operation na multiplication. So pag ganito, add lang yun ha. So b, tulad ito, this is incorrect kasi minultiply yung 3 and 4. Correct answer here is 3 b cubed times b raised to 4 is equal to b raised to 3 plus 4, which is b raised to 7. So remember that the exponent should be added and not multiplied. Okay, another 3 squared times 3 raised to 4. Okay. So dito tama na may exponent, ini-add, which is equal to 6, but minultiply pa rin yung base. And don't forget that the common base should be retained, not multiplied. Kinakopy lang siya. Hindi siya minumultiply kapag same base. Okay? Next. 5, same lang dito ng case. So, minsan, di ba division yung operation. So, gina-apply din yung operation na yun sa exponents. But sa exponents, we do not divide them, no? We subtract. The exponent should be subtracted, not divided. So, in this case, we have 5 raised to 12 because 16 minus 4 is 12. Another one. Another common mistake na ang nalalagyan lang ng exponent ay yung variable. So, the factor should be cubed. Both factors should be cubed. Distribute natin parehas yung exponent na 3. So, we have 4 cube times a cube is equal to 64a cube. Another thing, so you have b raised to negative n. So, it's written as 1 over b raised to n, but another mistake, ginagawa pa rin siyang negative. No? Ginagawa lang siyang ganon, yung 1 over b raised to n, pero still negative pa rin. So, nare-remove na natin yung sign nun. Once na yung number na yon with a negative exponent ay nasa denominator na or na-change natin into 1 over b raised to n. Okay, next. We have here a plus b, the quantity of a plus b raised to negative 1. Okay, so dito ang ginagawa ay, since may parenthesis yan, ibig sabihin, yan na yung naka-raise sa negative 1. Hindi natin i-distribute kapag ganito na variables. Kaya, the correct answer here is 1 over a plus b. So the exponent applies to the entire expression a plus b. So hindi siya i-distribute ng ganito. Ano? 1 over a plus 1 over b. So kapag may parenthesis yan, meaning yan mismo yung naka-raise dun sa negative exponent. Hindi sila individual. Okay? I hope you avoid na these common errors in performing operations and involving exponents. Okay. Next, let us have the simplifying of exponential expressions. So if necessary, remove parentheses by using this rule. So you have here a, b, or quantity of a times b raised to n. So distribute, just apply the rule. For example, dito lang tayo sa example ha. So you have xy, so distribute the exponent or the power. So you have x cubed times y cubed. And if necessary, simplify powers to by using this. 4 times 3, you have 12. Then, yun lang yung mga rule natin. Yung kanina lang na discuss, no? For this, yan. Lahat yan i-apply, no? In simplifying expression, lahat ng rules kanina. If needed. Example, we have negative 3x raised to 4, y and y raised to 5, and all of them raised to 3. We can now distribute the exponent na 3, which of the terms. So you have negative 3 raised to 3, x raised to 4, then again raised to 3, and y raised to 5 raised to 3. Again, kapag ganito, multiply, no? Multiply. So, negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 27. 4 times 3 is 12. And 5 times 3 is 15. So, our final answer here is negative 27 x raised to 12 times y raised to 15. Another example. Okay, we will multiply negative 7x times y raised to 4 times the quantity of negative 2 times x raised to 5 and y raised to 6. We can just group the factors with the same base. So dito, we group the two constants, which are negative 7 and negative 2, then x and x raised to 5, and y raised to 4 and y raised to 6. So then just perform the needed operations. We have multiplication here. So negative 7 times negative 2 is 14. So don't forget na i-add yung exponent. So you have 1. O pag wala nakalagay, 1 yun na. So 1 plus 5 is 6. And for y, we have 4 plus 6. That is 10. So the final answer here is 614 times x raised to 6 times y raised to 10. Okay, next, what if the example is, if the given is like this, nakalagay naman siya sa fractions naman. So, divide nyo lang din yung factors with the same base. So, divide, so negative 35 divided by 5 is negative 7. So, now, tingnan natin yung exponent. So, diba, fraction, this one, x squared and x raised to 6, they have the same base. So we just subtract their exponent. So that is 2 minus 6. So nasan ba yung larger value o na exponent? Diba nasa ilalim? So nandun pa rin siya sa ilalim yung sagot. Diba? Yung difference nila. 2 minus 6 or 6 minus 2, diba 4? So kung nasaan yung mas mataas ang exponent, dun nyo siya iiwan. So since mas mataas nga yung x raised to 6, so yung answer nyo na x raised to 4, andun pa rin sa denominator. Okay? For this, 4 minus, okay, minus yun 4 minus negative 8. So that is 4 plus 8, so mangyayari na magiging positive na siya. So andun na siya sa taas. Basta pag positive, andun sa taas. Okay, this is the final answer. Negative 7y, 12 raised, all over x raised to 4. Okay, next. 4x squared over y, they're all raised to negative 3. Again, distribute natin yung power. So, 4 raised to negative 3 Then x squared raised to negative 3 also all over y raised to negative 3. So just simplify. Okay. So gagawin lang natin, exchange lang natin sila ng position since pareha silang negative. Ano? So yung mangyayari dyan, yung 4 raised to negative 3 and x raised to negative 6 will be placed sa denominator, and y raised to negative 3 will be placed sa numerator. So pagpapalitan nyo lang sila kapag ganyan. Then just evaluate 4 cube, and 4 cube is 4 times 4 times 4, so 64. Our final answer here is y cube over 64 times x raised to 6. Okay. Polynomial. Wait lang ha, inom lang ng tubig. Okay. Next, we have the polynomials. So we're done with expressions. Dito naman na tayo sa may operation. A single term or the sum of two or more terms containing variables with whole number exponents. Okay, these are some examples of polynomials. We have 3x, x minus 2, negative 6y squared minus 7 over 9x, and 3xyz, and so on. And 5 is also a polynomial. Constant is also a polynomial. These are not polynomials. Okay, so we have here 3xy raised to negative 2. So if a variable is raised to a negative exponent, that is not a polynomial. Ha? Basta yung variable naka-raise sa exponent, not a polynomial. So pag constant lang or yung number lang naka-raise sa negative exponent is okay. But pag variable, hindi siya polynomial. Same with this. 2 over x plus 2. Okay. This is not a polynomial because dividing by a variable is not allowed. So basta yung variable ay nasa denominator, not a polynomial. Pero pag constant ang nasa denominator, okay lang. Next, we have 1 over x. Still, a variable is in the denominator. So, this is still not a polynomial. Another thing we have here, square root of x. This is not also a polynomial because if we write this in this form, square root of x is also equal to x raised to 1/2. Ano, yung 1/2. Ito yung nandito, diba? And fractional exponent is also not allowed in polynomials. Also, kapag nasa radical sign, inside the radical sign, ang variable, yun ay not polynomial pa rin. But these are allowed. X over 2 is allowed. So since ang nasa denominator naman dito is the constant, okay lang na nasa numerator yung variable. Wag lang sa denominator. Same with 3x over 8. Still, constant pa rin yung nasa denominator, so it's okay. And for square root of 2, since 2 is a constant, this is also a polynomial, no? Basta variable lang yung bawal. Yung bawal magkaroon ng negative exponent, fractional exponent, or maging nandun sa denominator na variable or nasa radical sign or inside the radical sign na variable. So those are not polynomials kapag may nakita kayong ganun. But minsan may problem na ganun pinapa-identify kung alin dun yung polynomial or non-polynomials or not polynomials dun sa options. May ganong question. Baka possible na itanong, no? Okay, next, the degree. So if a is not equal to 0, the degree of a times x raised to n is n. So the degree of a non-zero constant is 0. And the constant 0 has no defined degree. So for example, so in 6x raised to 4, the degree of this is 4. Just look at the exponent, no, yun yung degree. And for 3x cubed, degree is 3. Or 2x, degree is 1. And the degree of a constant here is 0. And polynomials can also be classified as monomial, binomial, and trinomial. If a polynomial is a monomial, it's a polynomial with exactly one term, bi, meaning 2. So it has 2 terms. For tri, it has 3 terms, trinomial. Next, degree of a polynomial. Kanina lang degree lang yun ng term. So ngayon naman, we have the degree of a polynomial. This is the greatest degree of all the terms of the polynomial. Again, all the terms. Okay, for this example, 7x raised to 5 minus 3x cubed plus 8. So here, the degree of this polynomial is 5. So titingin lang kayo dun sa may highest exponent. Hindi kayo titingin dun sa number na malaki dito ha. Sa coefficient. Dun lagi sa degree. Okay, the degree is 5 here. And for this polynomial, its degree is 3. Degree is 3. And for this, the degree is 7. So this is a binomial and this one is a trinomial because it has 3 terms. Have the operations, polynomials, the addition and subtraction of polynomials. So just same rule lang naman siya. O just combine like terms, no? Polynomials are added and subtracted by combining like terms. So for this, can just directly subtract na lang. So negative 9 plus 13 is 4. Then just copy the variables. So the same variables. You have x cube. Hindi yan ini-add ha. Just copy lang. Copy. So you have x cube. Okay, another example. O may mga ganito ring tanong sa let. So you have negative 9. So pag sasama-sama nyo lang yung may same variable, no? Or you could just combine like terms. Or pag medyo nakakalito, you can group them. So like this. Pero kung kaya nyo siya directly na is-solve, much better kasi mas madali yun, no? So yun, time. In this case, the like terms are negative 9x cubed and 13x cubed. And 7x squared and 2x squared, negative 5x and negative 8x, and constants 3 and negative 6. So, combine nyo lang sila. So, negative 9 plus 13 plus 4. Then, just copy the variable x cubed, and 7 plus 2 is 9, x squared, and negative 5 minus 8x. Okay, same sign yun ha. So, add negative 13x, copy the common sign, which is negative, and 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Then just don't forget to simplify this. So positive times negative is negative. So negative 13x. So again, positive times negative is negative 3. So this will be your answer. 4x cubed plus 9x squared minus 13x minus 3. Okay, another example. So you have 7x cubed minus x squared plus 9x minus 6. So you have a subtraction here. So don't forget to change the sign of each coefficient. No. So ito magigitong negative. So become positive, positive, and negative. So yun yung laging usual. Yung lagi talaga nakakaligtaan. Then again, group the like terms, or you can do it directly then. So 7x cubed minus 2x squared, that is 5x cubed. And another like terms, we have negative 8x squared and positive 6x squared. So add, you have negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. We have negative 2x squared, copy the variable. And for 9x plus 3x, that is 12x, and negative 6x minus 9. So, same lang sign. So, add, copy the common sign, negative 15. So, this is the final answer. 5x cubed minus 2x squared plus 12x minus 15. Next, for multiplying polynomials, so we have to use here or apply here the properties of exponents. So, for monomial, we'll just multiply the constant part. So negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. And since x raised to 6 and x cubed, the same base, so you just add the exponent. So 6 plus 3 is 9. So negative 40 times x raised to 9. Okay, multiplying polynomials given two monomials. Dalawang monomial. Yun yung example kanina. And if we have a monomial and a polynomial that is not a monomial, we use the distributive property. So, distribute natin yung monomial over the trinomial. So, 3x cubed times 2x cubed is 6x raised to add the two exponents, 7. And next, 3x raised to 4 times negative 7x, that is 3 times negative 7, negative 21. Add the exponents, 4 plus 1, you have 5. Next, last na, 3 times 3, 9, then multiply natin. 3x raised to 4 times 3 is 9x raised to 4. Just set yung um, variable dun. Okay? And that is how you multiply a monomial and a polynomial that is not a monomial. Just use a distributive property. And just be careful na lang sa pag-add ng mga exponents. And of course, sa sign. Next, multiplying polynomials when neither is a monomial. You have here a binomial and a trinomial. So you can use here distributive property also, pero dalawang beses na kayo magdi-distribute. So first, distribute muna the first term of a binomial, which is 2x. So 2x times x squared, then 2x times 4x, 2x times 5, and next, we have naman the 3, yung other term of the binomial. Same process, 3x squared times 3 times 4x, and 3 times 5. Just simplify. So you have 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. Then 2x times 4x is 8x squared. 2x times 5 is 10x. And 3x squared is just 3x squared. And 3 times 4x is 12x. And 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, you can still combine like terms here. So we have 8x squared and 3x squared and 10x and 12x. Okay, so this is the final answer. 2x cubed plus 11x squared plus 22x plus 15. And if medyo nako-confuse kayo kapag ganyan, you can use this, yung sa column, no, para lang siyang multiplication ng yung usual na multiplication. So, tas ang gagawin niyo lang, pwede niyo nang pagtapat-tapatin yung may common variables, no. So, ganun lang yung 5 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times x squared, tapos after nun, 2x times 5, 10x, 2x times 4x, 8x squared, and 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. Then just add. I think kung medyo nalilito kayo dun sa first solution, you can use this other method. Okay, what if the given are two binomials? So we have to use the FOIL method. Okay, so first, outer, inner, last. So first term, so yung first term ng two binomials, outer yung nasa labas, inner yung nalawang magkadikit sa loob, and the last are the last terms nung two binomials. Example, so multiply 3x plus 4 and 5x minus 3. So the first term here are 5x, 3x and 5x. So 3x times 5x is 15x squared. And next, we have the outer terms. The outer terms here are 3x and negative 3. So just multiply. 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. And 4 times 5x, that is 20x. And 4 times negative 3, negative 12. Then just combine like terms, 11x. Okay, now let us recall some of the special products. So this will facilitate easier computation no, kapag alam nyo yung special products. Okay, we have here the sum and difference of two terms. So, you see here that, okay, dito tayo sa example para mas madali. So, di ba, you have here the same term. So, 2x here, then 2x, then 3 here, and 3 here. But they have different operations. This one is addition, and the other one is subtraction. So, to get the product of this, you just need to square the first terms, 2x times 2x, or just multiply this 2, and that is 4x squared. Then just put the minus sign, laging minus yan, and square the last term, 3 times 3, 9. So yun lang yun. Kapag nakita nyo na same yung both first and last terms ng two given binomials, ang difference lang nila is the sign. The other one is positive, the other one is negative. So just square the first term, then minus square of the last term. So that is the sum and difference of two terms. For squaring a binomial, you can just do this. Kapag ganyan yung given, square nyo lang to, y times y squared. Just get the product of this. Y times 5 is 5y times the exponent here na 2, that is 10y. Next, square the last term. 5 times 5, 25. So, same with this. Since lahat yan ay positive, no? So, lahat plus. So, 3x minus 4, yan, quantity of 3x minus 4 raised to 2. Again, square the first term. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Again, multiply. 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x times 2, negative 24x, and square the last term, which is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So, ganun lang. So, no need na to use the FOIL method. So, pwedeng ganun na lang yung process. Again, square the first term, multiply the two terms, and multiply sa exponent na 2. And then, the last step is square the last term. So, don't forget the sign, ha? So, kapag negative to, or minus yung operation, negative yung middle term, and positive din yung last term. Yun lang yung nag-change. The middle term, no? Kasi negative times negative is positive. So, hindi siya nababago. Okay, another is cubing a binomial. So, ito, pag naka-cube siya, you can use this shortcut. So, you have a cube, you just cube the first term, then square the first term multiplied by 3, and then the value of the second term ng binomial. And yun naman, yung square nyo naman is the other one, yung ito naman, yung sa B. And for the last naman is just cube, get the cube of the last term. So for example, you have here x, so get the cube of the first term, which is x cubed. So x cubed, can square mo na to. X squared times 4 is 12, x squared times 3. So you have 12x squared. So next, we have 3x. So ito naman, ito multiply naman natin ng x squared naman natin. Ito yung other term. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times x, 16x times 3. So you have 48x. No. And for the last term, just cube the last binomial, dun sa last term, dun sa binomial, which is 4. So, in this case, we have 4 cube. You can see here na pag plus to, lahat ito positive. And kapag naman negative siya, or minus yung operation dito, alternate yung sign. Positive, negative, or plus, minus, minus. Same process, you have to get the cube of the first term of the binomial. So, you have x cube. And next, square muna ito. So, you have x times x squared. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2. S squared times 3 is negative 6x squared. And next, ito naman ang x squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. 4 times x is 4x times 3, 12x. And last, get the cube of the last term. So, negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 8. So, madali lang naman tandaan yung formula niyan, kasi alternate lang. And those are some of the special products. Ilan lang yan, no? Pero yun yung usually na nagagamit. Okay, parang naulit yun. Okay, din naman tayo sa polynomials in several variables. Ito naman marami na. So, hindi na, meron ng y, minsan may z pa. Okay. So, for the coefficient, so we have here 7, 17. And if we need to solve for the polynomial or for the degree of a polynomial in two variables, we just need to get the highest degree by adding. No? I-add lang natin. Okay. So, if we add here, you have 2 plus 3. The degree of this monomial is 5. So, pag degree mismo ng polynomial, yung highest. O, diba? So, anong highest dito? This one. 4 plus 2 is 6. So, therefore, the degree of this whole polynomial is 6. So, titingnan nyo lang. I-add lang yan kapag if there are 2 variables or more, 3 variables, yan. I-add nyo lang lahat ng exponent to find the degree of that polynomial. Okay, example. Oh, wait, parang na-misplace itong aking ano. So, wait, anyway, foil lang naman yan. So, this is the application of the special product, no? Anyway, may example naman na kanina. Just square this. 5x times 5x is 25 s squared. So, get the product of this. 5 times 3, 15. Wait, tama pala. Kasi ito kasi may variable na yung isa. Anyway, same lang din naman ng process no, may madadagdag lang na variable since kanina walang constant lang yung other term ng binomial. No? Pero same process pa rin lang nun. Kaya pa din yun yung file. And here we will apply this special product. So again, 5x times 5x is 25x squared. So you have 5x times 3y is 15xy times 2 is 30xy. Square the last term. We have 3y times 3y is 9y squared. This is the final answer. And for this, you can see here na ito. So you have, diba? You have the same first term. Same first term. So we'll treat 7x plus 5 as one term lang dun sa binomial na to. No? And, di ba pag ganyan, square nyo lang to. So, just square this, just square the last term. So, we have 4y square. So, same lang nung process kanina, 7x times 7x is 49x squared. So, 7x times 5 is 35x. Times 2, 70x. So, 5 times 5, you have 25. Then just square this, 4y times 4y is 16y squared. Okay, dito na tayo sa factoring. Wait lang Factoring a polynomial, so expressed as the sum of monomial, means finding an equivalent expression that is a product. Kabaliktaran, no? Kapag factor natin, so that is the opposite of multiplication. So yung kanina, given yung factored form, we multiply. So in this case naman, yung naka-multiply, babalik natin siya sa kanyang original form na hindi pa namumultiply. So that is factoring. Okay? For the common factors, so just identify the greatest common factor. So for 18 and 27, we know that the GCF of these two numbers is 9. And next, doon naman tayo sa variables. Kung kukunin nyo doon yung mas mababa, ano? So, we have here x cubed and x squared. So, ano yung kanilang GCF? So, x squared. So, ilalabas nyo lang siya. Okay, what will happen? So, gawin nyo lang, i-divide nyo lang yung sa common. So, 18 divided by 9 is 2. And, ito namang x cubed, subtract nyo lamang yung exponent. So, what will remain na dun sa inside the parenthesis, you have 2x na lang kasi, di ba, x squared plus 1 is x cubed. So, ganun lang yan. May checking naman to kasi pwede nyo siya ibalik dun sa kanyang naka-multiply na form. And for 27, we have 27x squared divided by 9x squared is 3. Therefore, the factored form of this expression is 9x squared times the quantity of 2x plus 3. Basta ilalabas nyo lang yung common factor. Okay, another example. So you have here x squared times x plus 3 plus 5 times x plus 3. So anong common factor dito? X plus 3. So susulat nyo lang siya as x plus 3, then just get the sum of this. X squared plus 5. Ganun lang yun kapag ganyan. So yung common factor, kukunin nyo lang yung ito yung factor dun sa aside nung parenthesis nito. Then just add, yun lang yung ginagawa dun kapag factoring ng common binomial factor. Next, sa factoring by grouping. So dito, ginugroup natin yung mas madaling ilabas yung common factor. So dito, mas madaling i-group yung x cubed and 4x squared. So since they have the common factor x squared. And for this, we can group them kasi they have a common factor which is 3. So pwedeng ilabas yun. And once na factor out na natin yan, diba? Ito, ginroup to. So if gagawin natin para makuha yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, subtract lang or divide. X cubed divided by x squared, that is 3 minus 2. So x1 to 1, x raised to 1, or just simply x. And 4x squared divided by x squared is just 4. Diba? Cancel na yun. So, what will remain sa ilalim, ay sa loob ng parenthesis? 4. And for 3x plus 12, you factor out the GCF, which is 3. So 3x divided by 3 is just x. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So since same na yan, you can apply na yung sa factoring ng kanina example. Example number 10. So just write the common factor, the x plus 4, the common binomial factor, then the sum of the factors kanina, which are x squared and 3. So this is the final answer. X plus 4 times the quantity of x squared plus 3. Okay. Oops, naulit yung example. Next, factoring trinomials. Okay, trinomials naman. So dito, ang titingnan nyo lang dito is the last term and the middle term. Okay. Usually naman mga ganito lang yung given kasi hindi masyado naman mahirap kapag sa Gen Math. So ang mas mahirap na question yung medyo may number pa dito pag sa major and math na mga questions. So find two terms or two first terms whose product is x squared. So madali lang, lagi lang yung x times x basta x squared. Next, find two last terms whose product is negative 18. So look at the constant. Negative 18. You will think of a number or of two numbers whose product is negative 18. And isunod ko na rin to ha. And pair of factors whose sum is 3. Ganito lang yun ha. Ang product ay 18 or negative 18. And kapag pinag-add nyo yung two numbers na yon, dapat ang answer is positive 3. Positive ha. Kasi dapat plus. So pag positive, ibig sabihin, dun sa factor na yon ng negative 18, dapat ang positive dun yung mas malaking number. Kasi nga positive, di ba? Plus 3x. So ano ba yung dalawang numbers na yon? So we have positive 6 and negative 3. No, because 6 times negative 3 is negative 18 and 6 minus 3 is positive 3. Okay? So yun lang yung kailangan nyo doon. Product ay ito and ang sum ay ito. Okay? Then we can write this as x plus 6 and x minus 3. So if we multiply this using the FOIL method, we will arrive at this expression. No? So, kahit di na kayo magganyan, basta yun lang isipin nyo. Ang product ay yung constant at ang sum ay yung middle term or yung coefficient ng middle term. And just ipa-plug in nyo na lang dito sa ganito. Then you can manipulate naman the sign. No? Pwede yung change the sign or pwedeng ganito muna. Pwedeng yung factors muna na hinihingi na ang product ay 18. So write yung number then saka nyo i-test yung sign. So once na nandun na yung numbers nyo. Okay, madali lang naman yan sa trinomials. Next, factoring the difference of two squares. So, ito mas madali kasi perfect square. So, pag nakita nyo na perfect square yung first and last term and the operation is subtraction. So, just get the square root of this. You have x squared. So, that is x. And the square root of 4 is 2. So, just x plus 2, x minus 2. Pabaliktaran lang ng kanina, no? O, lagi lang yung magka-partner. X plus 2, x minus 2. But don't forget to get the square root ha, nung constant and nung first term. Another, we have 81x squared minus 49. 81x squared, also perfect square. No? We have 9x times 9x. And for 49, we have 7 times 7. So we can write this or in its factor form na 9x plus 7 or quantity of 9x plus 7 times the quantity of 9x minus 7. Okay, next, factoring perfect square trinomials. Kanina to yung nag-multiply, no? So, pag plus, yung sign, plus din. Pag ito minus, yung kanina, di ba, nung nag-multiply tayo, negative din, yung, or minus yung operation sa binomial. Don't forget to square. Square yun. Okay, we have here x squared plus 6x plus 9. So if we get the square root of this, diba? 9 squared. Square root of 9, square root of 9 is 3. Then if we multiply that by 2, diba yun ay naka-square, the answer is 6. So therefore, this is perfect square trinomial. So ganun lang yun. Get the square root of the last term, diba? Square root of 9 is 3. Multiply nyo sa 2. So pag ang kinalabasan nun ay itong middle term, perfect square trinomial. So ang gagawin nyo lang doon to factor that trinomial is just get the square root of this, x squared, then kung ano yung sign ng middle term, that will be the sign of the binomial dun sa gitna or the operation sa gitna. And just get the square root of this, the square root of the constant or 3, or you can just divide the middle term by 2. Maalin doon? Okay. Yun yung yun yung two ways na pwede nyong gawin. Itong process na to is just completing completing the square then kapag pabaliktad. Okay, again, so kapag ganito, if you get the square root of this, square root of the constant, and if you multiply that result to 2, and the result is the constant sa middle term, then can apply this formula. So all you have to do is to get the square root or the square root of the first term, so you have x, and then the square root of the last term or half of the coefficient of the middle term. In this case, we have 3. And don't forget to put parentheses and raise the binomial to 2. So, yan yung process. Balikan, yung may, recall din ito ulit. Pag nalilito pa kayo. Okay, next, we have the division. Medyo hindi man masyado yung division of polynomials, pero susama na rin natin, no? So, dalawang division, ito naman, mostly lang ay expression ang i-divide doon. Parang katulad lang ng kanina, yung mina-minus lang yung exponent, then just divide the constant. So, let us also review this one. So, you have here the process. Wait lang, balikan natin. So, the first one is to arrange the terms of both the dividend and the divisor in descending powers of any variable. So, pababa lagi yung degrees or yung exponents nila. So, then, next, divide the first term and the dividend by the first term. So, first term by first term lang ang division dito. And next, di ba, after ng division, multiply. Next, subtract, then bring down, and then repeat. Okay, sample. Divide x squared plus 10x plus 21 by x plus 3. Kung gagawin nyo lang, since written naman na siya in descending powers of x, so we can now skip the first step and divide by x plus 3. Again, first term by first term lang ang division. X squared divided by x is x. So, natapat nyo siya dun sa kanyang common, dun sa kanyang kapartner na x. Then, multiply. X times x plus 3 is x times x squared. X times 3 is 3x. Then, don't forget to change the sign ha. Subtraction yan. So, cancel na to. X squared minus x squared is, cancel na wala na, 0 na yun. So, 10 minus 3x. Laging minus yun ha. Magbabago yung sign. Since plus yan, magiging minus. 10 minus 3 is 7x. After this, bring down 21. So, 7x divided by x is 7. Then 7 times x, again, multiply ulit pabalik. So you have 7x plus 21. And don't forget to subtract. So cancel na. So the remainder is 0. Therefore, the quotient is x plus 7. Aside from that, yung medyo complicated siya kung titingnan, no? But we have another method which is the synthetic division. We need to divide polynomial by a binomial. So binomial nga lang to applicable. Although pwede rin siya sa trinomial, pero medyo complicated siya. And like what I've said, hindi naman to masyado naisama, no? Then, then na tayo sa last. Oops. Okay. So for this, don't forget to change the sign, di ba kanina? X minus yan ha. So ito, x minus 3. So mangyayari dyan, since ang the form of our divisor is an x minus c. So pag ito'y minus, our divisor here or the constant here is positive. So pag plus to, saka magiging negative. Okay, then just list all the coefficients nung mga variables. And kapag may missing term, lagi yung dapat dire-diretso. So, 3, 2, 1. Then yung constant. So, pag may missing term doon, replace nyo lang with 0. Okay, we have here 1, 4, negative 5. So, these are all the coefficients of the given divisor, dividend rather. So, you just bring down the first. So, you have 1, multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. Then add 4 plus 3 is 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract 16 times 3 is 48. Then add 53. So what will happen? So ang mangyayari lang niyan, so ilan bang terms to? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hindi ko to kasama kasi ito yung constant. Diba x cube yung kanina? Magma-minus lang tayo ng 1. Okay, wait, saan galing yung x cube? Here, ito, sa dividend. Lagi lang yung minus 1. So, saan na tayo mag-start pagsulat? So, you have 1 here. So, 1x squared followed by 7x plus 16 plus, this will be the remainder, yung nasa last column, 53 over the divisor, which is x minus 3. So, this will be the answer, x squared plus 7x plus 16 plus 53 over x minus 3. So, take note of the degree of the first term of the quotient is 1 less than the degree of the first term of the dividend. Okay. So, hope nakakakasya pa kayo, no? Okay na. Last, na tayo? Sa elementary algebra. We have linear equations, and after this, we have the linear inequality. Okay, for linear equation, we'll focus on problem solving. Andito yung mga age problem, the number problem, so yun, hindi nawawala sa mga exam. Okay, a linear equation and one variable x is an equation that can be written in the form ax plus b equals 0, where a and b are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Okay. So, dito na may equation na, naka-equate na siya. So, to simplify an expression, can remove the grouping symbols by combining like terms. So, we first let us have the distribution. You have 3x time 3 times x is 3x, 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. So just simplify this. So I combine the like terms. You have 6x minus x, 5x. Next, the addition property of equality can subtract negative 3x from both sides. But ito usually ginagamit dito transposition, no? Mino-move natin sa left. So, pag nag-move tayo sa left side ng equation or sa right side ng equation, tina-change natin ang sign. So, from positive, magiging negative. From negative, magiging positive. So, this is just another way. So, subtract 3x. So, you have here 3x minus 18 minus 3x and 5x minus 3x. Just simplify. So, maka-cancel na yung 3x. So, magiging 0 na lang. So, what will remain? Only negative 18. And for the right side of the equation, you have 2x. The next step there is to divide both sides by the coefficient of this one, the one with the variable. So, 2x divided by 2 is x, and negative 18 divided by 2 is negative 19. And we can also interchange the two sides of the equation. So since nandito yung x, but usually nasa left side siya. So negative 9 equals 6 can also be written as x is equal to negative 9. Okay, solving linear equation. The first thing you need to do is to simplify the algebraic expression on each side by removing grouping symbols and combining like terms. And next step is to collect all the variable terms on one side and all the numbers or constant terms on the other side. So usually sa left side, lahat ng variables, and right side, lahat ng constants. Then isolate the variable and solve and check the proposed solution in the original equation. Okay, example. Solve. So 2 times quantity of x minus 3 minus 17 equals 13 minus 3 times quantity of x plus 2. Okay, so for this, apply the distributive property. So remove muna natin lahat ng may parenthesis. So you have 2 times the quantity of x minus 3. So you have 2x minus 6 minus 17 equals 13 minus, don't forget to distribute the negative sign. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6. And combine muna natin yung lahat ng constant sa left and then sa right. So you have negative 60, negative 6 minus negative 17, or negative 6 minus 17 is negative 23. And for this, so we have here constant terms 13 and 6. 13 minus 6 is positive 7. So next step natin is to add 3x to both sides, or you can just transpose 3x, no? So ganun pa rin naman yung process dun. So we have now 2x plus 3x is 5x. Then we have 23 pa. Then for the right side naman, negative 3x plus 3x is 0. So you only have 7, the right side of the equation. Next, addition property of equality again, or you can just transpose 23 to the right side of the equation. Then add the two numbers, 7 plus 23 is 30. So 5x divided by 5, or divide both sides by 5. So you have 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. So the solution for this equation is 6. You can also verify the answer by substituting the value of x here. And if the resulting numbers are equal, so therefore your answer is correct. Next na. Okay. Ito naman na tayo sa translating phrases. So dito medyo nahihirapan din. So pag-translate, medyo nakakalito siya kapag medyo nagkapalibaliktad na, no? Okay, pag addition, we have here some keywords. The plus, more than, the sum of, the total of, increased by, added to. So for example, a number plus 3. So for sa translation nun in mathematical expression is x plus 3. A number is represented by the variable x. And 10 more than a number. So laging baliktad ha. X plus 10. The sum of a number and 5. X plus 5. The total of 6 and some number. So 6 plus x, or pwedeng x plus 6 din. And a number increased by 2. So dagdagan ng 2, so x plus 2. And 11 added to a number, x plus 11. So ganun lang yung sa keyword, sa addition. And for subtraction naman, of course, we have the minus, less than, the difference of, less, decreased by, subtracted from. Okay, a number minus 7, x minus 7. For less than a number is x minus 4. Then the difference of a number and 3. So we have x minus 3. 9 less a number, so you have 9 minus x. And a number decreased by 12, x minus 12, and 6 subtracted from a number. So take note of the word from ha. So kung saan yung from, yun yung nasa unahan. Kasi magkakaproblema kasi may sign na involved, no? So laging kung sa from, yun yung magiging, dun yung pagbabawasan, yung doon kayo magbabawas. So we have here x minus 6. And for multiplication, we have some keywords here. Times, the product of, twice, double, yun, and multiplied by or of. For example, we have 8 times a number, so that is 8x. The product of 14 and a number, 14x. Twice a number or double a number, so yun lang ay twice x, so 2 times x. A number multiplied by negative 6, that is negative 6x, and 3/4 of a number, so 3/4 times x. Laging pag-off yun, multiplication din ang in-indicate nun. Okay, next, we have the division. The quotient of a number and 7, that is x over 7. 10 divided by a number, 10 divided by 6. Then the ratio of number to 15, so x is to 15, or x over 15. So that indicates division. For the powers, the square of squared, the square of a number squared, so yun lang yung x kasi squared, diba? So the exponent is 2. So x squared. And for cube naman, the cube of a number, so we have x cubed. That is 3 naman ang exponent. Okay, for equals, so ito usually ginagamit siya sa mga mga problem solving din, tong equals, no? Then sa age problem, sa number problem, and other problems. So equals. 7 less than a number equals 10. So x minus 7 is equal to 10. For is, so it also indicates equal, the equal sign. 3 times a number is negative 6. So meaning 3x is equal to negative 6. Take note of the word is, ha. And is the same as, equal din yun. So 8 is the same as twice a number. So 8 is equal to 2x. 12 added to a number yields 5. So it's another indication na that is an equal sign. So 12 added to a number. So we have x plus 12 equals 5, and last amounts to, so sum pa rin yun, equal pa rin yun. So 9 less a number amounts to 20. So 9 minus 6 is equal to 20. So yan, yung mga usual na na-encounter natin. Pero di ba laging is or as, the same as, yan yung mga usual na na-encounter. Okay, doon na tayo sa problem solving. First, we will have the age problem. So I have here some steps in solving age problem. So mas okay siya or mas mabivisualize nyo yung problem solving kapag iti-table nyo. Mas madali siya. Okay, fill in the now column. Kasi di ba, what's the present age? So how old will be blank in 10 years from now, yung mga ganyan, or 5 years ago. Diba, ito yun sa mga age problem. So, hindi ko na masyadong yung i-apply na lang natin dito sa example. At magti-3 na. Okay, Carmen is 12 years older than David. So 5 years ago, the sum of their ages was 28. How old are they now? Okay, here's the solution. You have here the table. So age now, then since 5 years ago, kalipas na, so negative 5 yun. 5 years ago So minus 5. Magbabawas tayo ng 5. Then, alin ba yung ginagawang x, alin yung dinadagdagan? So, Carmen is 12 years older than David. From the problem. Since we do not know about David, so he is x. So, kung saan yung pinagkokomparahan, yun yung magiging value ng x nyo. Kasi kinompare siya kay David, so yun yung value na, siya yung magiging x. Let x be the age of David. And for Carmen, since 12 years older than, o mas matanda ng 12 years, so mag-a-add tayo ng 12, di ba? So x plus 12 and then x. So let x plus 12 be the age of Carmen and David be the x be the age of David. Okay, next. So now, di ba mag-a-add tayo, magsasubtract tayo ng 5 kasi nga 5 years ago. So from here, dun sa age na, so sa present age ni Carmen, we will subtract 5. Same for the age of David na x. So x minus 5. Simplify lang natin. So from x plus 12 minus 5, and x plus 7, and x minus 5. Then take note of the other details. So according to the problem, the sum of their ages will be 29. So we will add c and d. So ano ba yung nasa natin nyo? So we just add x plus 7 and x minus 5. Wait, okay, x plus 7, x minus 5. So you have x plus 7 plus x minus 5. Just combine like terms. So you have 2x plus 2 equals 28. So you have to subtract 2 from both sides or just transpose 2 to the right side of the equation. So 28 minus 2 is 26. So then divide both sides by 2. So you have 2x divided by 2 is x, and 26 divided by 2 is 13. So the value of x is 13. So since the age of Carmen is x plus 12, we need to add a value of x na 13 to 12. No, so 13 plus 12 is 25. So therefore, the age of Carmen is 25 and the age of David is 13 years old. Okay. And you can also check naman dun sa context ng problem. Especially pag yung mga involved ay ano, no, age problem na father and daughter or father and son. So, pag na-obtain ninyo na mas matanda yung son or daughter since sa father or mother, di ba? O di mali yung inyong equation. So, dapat no, realistic yung answer ninyo, di ba? Okay, another example sa age problem. The sum of the ages of Nicole and Kristen is 32. In 2 years, meaning pa, sa after 2 years, Nicole will be 3 times as old as Kristen. How old are they now? The present age again. Okay, we know the sum of their ages is 32. And in 2 years, so ganyan naman, sa future naman. So, plus 2 naman. Kanina kasi 5 years ago. On this problem, we have plus 2 since in 2 years. So, since we will assign values of x, so let x be the age of Nicole and 32 minus x be the age of Kristen. Since their sum is 32, no? So, hindi tayo magto-two variables kasi mas complicated yon. So, since the sum of their age is 32, so we can express the other one as x and the other one as the difference of the sum and that variable. So here we have x and 32 minus x. Okay, then just add 2 to each cell. So you have x plus 2, then 32 minus x plus 2. So that will be 34 minus x. So x plus 2 and 34 minus x. Okay. From the problem, wait, ano yung tumunog? Okay. Nicole is 3 times as old as Kristen. So, Nicole is 3 times. So, meaning, equals 3 times the age of Kristen. So, saan tayo mag-multiply ng 3 sa age ni Kristen? Ano? Laging ganun ha. Okay. Then, substitute the age of Nicole. You have x plus 2 equals 3 times the age of Kristen. And just distribute. Use a distributive property. So you have 3 times 34 is 102, and 3 times negative x is negative 3x. Then add 3x to both sides or just transpose. Transpose lang natin yung negative 3x sa left side. So you have 4x plus 2. Then transpose negative 2 or subtract 2 from both sides. You will get 4x equals 100. Simplify natin. And 4x divided by 4 is 4 and 100 divided by 4 is 25. Okay, then substitute natin sa original. Sa first column natin. So, therefore, the age of Nicole is 25 and the age of Kristen is 7 years old. So, Nicole is 25, Kristen is 7. Now, pero sa mga problems naman, diba, usually isang age lang yung tinatanong. Hindi naman na both. Another type of problem, we have the number problem. So for this, we have an example. If 28 less than 5 times a certain number is 232, what is the number? Okay, for the solution, so we have 5x minus 28. So 5 times a certain number. So 5x less than 28. So minus 28. So that is, what is their difference? 232. So we will equate that expression to 232. Then just transpose 28 or add 28 to both sides. And 260 divided by 5 is 52. So the number is 52. So madali lang siya kapag number problem. No? And mamaya naman, meron pa tayong other examples. Next, for the work problem. So this is also common sa mga exams. Okay, a farmer plows the fields using a tractor in 5 days. So his father can do the same job in 9 days. So how many days will it take them working together? Let x be the number of days required to plow the field together. So the part, so it will be expressed in fraction. So that is 1 over x. And the part of the field load and 1 day by the farmer is 1/5 since 5 days. And for the father, we have 1/9. Just write these three fractions. So, di ba? 1/5 plus 1/9 kasi together. So, i-add natin both parts, equate natin sa 1/x. Then, para mas madali yung computation, you can get LCM of this or just multiply 5 times 9 times x, you have 45x. So, this will be cancelled. Cancel na. So, ang mangyayari niyan, magiging 45 divided by 5 or 45x divided by 5 is 9x. And 45x divided by 9 is 5x. And 45x divided by x is 45. Then add 9x plus 5x, 14x is 45. Then divide both sides by 14. So we'll get 45 over 14. And in mixed number form, you have 3 and 3 over 14 days. Okay. We also have here a shortcut kapag ganito yung type of problem na basta yung both of them or work together. Yan. So, ang gagawin nyo lang dyan, diba? 5 days and 9 days. So, denominator, just add the two given number of days, no? And doon naman sa numerator, just get the product of those two numbers. So, in this case, 45 over 14. So, yun lang yun. Kasi ganun pa rin naman yung nangyayari dyan. So, ganun lang yun. Add sa denominator, multiply sa numerator. And they're just simplify lang a mixed number. Or divide nyo lang naman siya. 45 divided by 14. Another type of problem is the mixture problem. Okay, example. If a liter of cooking oil is 8% pure, how many liters of coconut oil should be added to make a solution of 60% cooking oil? Let us assign the values of x as the number of liters of coconut oil to be added to the original cooking oil. We have this expression. So, diba? 8% of pure, a liter. So, that's why we have 1. And ito yung missing liters of coconut oil. And what will be the resulting solution? So, 60% of cooking oil. So, we have 1, yung amount of cooking oil ng nung sa pure, that is 1, plus yung sa missing. So, 8% ng pure plus yung sa missing number of liters. Then, equate natin dun sa target solution na 60% cooking oil. So, basta ganun lang yan. Laging i-add lang yung amount dun sa first and then the second. Then, multiply dun sa percentage ng resulting after ng equal sign. No? Just to simplify, so, para mas mapadali, gawin nyo na lang siyang whole number. So, 'di ba? Yung 8% gagawin natin and 60% gagawing decimal. So, if you multiply 100, so magiging na siyang whole number. So, from here, we have 8 plus 100x is equal to 60 times 1 is 60 plus 60x. And just a combined like term. So, we will group here yung may variables which are 100x and 60x. So, don't forget to change the sign. So, 100x minus 60x, then 60 minus 8 is 40x. So, it's equal to 52. Divide both sides by 40. So, you have 52 over 40 or about 1.3 liters. 1.3 liters yung value ng x. So, that is the number of liters of coconut oil should be added to make a 60% cooking oil. So, ganun lang yung technique doon na pag sa ito lang yun. Sa resulting, then just add yung amount na pinag-combine. So, multiply nyo lang dun sa target percentage ng solution. Okay, next, we have the investment problem. These are application lang ng sa kanina. Mr. Melchor's annual income from 2 investments was 2,280 pesos. So he invested a part of his money at 4% and an amount 3 times as much as 5%. So how much did he invest at the higher rate? And let x be the amount invested at 4%, since according to the problem, the amount 3 times as much. So we will represent this amount, no, invested at 5% as 3x. And just solve. O, ka-identify naman yung annual income from the two investment, which is 2,280. So just convert the given percent in decimal, and para mas madali yung pagsosolve, gawin nyo silang whole number. So you have 4x plus 5 plus times 3x is equal to 228,000. And just add, subdivide muna 15x. So you have 19x is equal to 228,000. Divide both sides by 19. So you have x is equal to 12,000. Since we need to know the amount invested at the higher rate, which is 5%, so we need this value at 36,000. So your answer will be 36,000 pesos. That is the amount invested at the 5% rate. Okay, ang daming problem. Geometric problem. Okay, the length of the rectangle is twice its width. So if the length is increased by 8 centimeters and the width by 5 centimeters, a new rectangle was formed with a perimeter equal to 110 centimeters. What is the length of the original rectangle? O let x be the width and 2x be the length. Kasi sabi the length is twice its width. So yung width natin is x. So 2x is the length. And let us recall that the perimeter of a rectangle is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. Okay, another info from the problem. If the length is increased by 8 centimeters, so we will add 8 to 2x. So that's why we have 2x plus 8 here. And the width by 5. So we have x plus 5. And this is just from the perimeter formula. So okay, that's why we have 2 here. 2, then 2, just simplify. So don't distribute the 2. So 2 for x plus 2 times 8, 16, plus 2 times x is 2x plus 10, 110. Just combine like terms, you have 6x, and here transpose yung constant. So you have 110 minus 16 minus 10 is 84. Divide both sides by 6. So you have 14 centimeters. So 2x is equal to 28 centimeters. So what is the length of the original triangle? 28 centimeters. That is the answer. 28 centimeter. Okay. Next, we have the motion problem. Okay, actually, pag itatouch natin lahat ng problems, kulang talaga yung time natin, no? Okay, ito lang yung mga common. Okay, next, a jeepney and a taxi starting from the same place and traveling in opposite directions are 432 kilometers apart in 5 hours. The rate of the taxi is 10 kilometers per hour faster than the jeepney. So find the rate of the taxi. Okay, let us assign values of the variables. So x be the rate of the jeepney. So why did we add 10 here? Because according to this, the rate of the taxi is 10 kilometers per hour faster. So we need to add 10 to the rate of the taxi. And also recall the formula that, wait na, ingin ng pusa. The distance is equal to the rate times time. Distance is equal to the rate times time. So from that, wait lang, lobat na yung laptop ko. From that, wait na move. Okay. We have 5x plus, diba? 432 kilometers apart daw sila. So kaya, di ba yung time, yung given na 5 hours, then times the rate of the jeepney. So you have 5x plus the rate of the taxi, the distance of the taxi, the rate and times time. So the time is 5 hours. So you have x plus 10 as the rate of the taxi. Then equate that to 432, which is given yung 432 kilometers apart. Then just simplify the equation. So 5x times 5x, 5x times 10. Then just simplify further. you have 10x plus 50 is equal to 432. Subtract or transpose 50 to the right side of the equation. So you have 382. So the value of hex here, or the rate of the jeepney, is 38.2 kilometers per hour. And since we need to find the rate of the taxi, we just need to add 10 to 38.2. So our answer is 48.2 kilometers. So ito yung mga doon ha, called the distance. Distance is equal to rate times time. So dito lang ay ini-add natin both yung distance nila based on the given rate and time na 5 hours. Okay. And for linear equalities is it can be written in one of the following forms. Ax plus b is less than 0, ax plus b is less than or equal to 0, or ax plus b is greater than 0 unless ax plus b is greater than or equal to 0. So dito naman, in each form, a is not equal to 0. So dito naman, instead of equal sign, we have here the less than or equal, greater than or equal, or the greater than sign. So same lang pa rin yung process. Wait, focus na lang din tayo dito sa important part. So, parehas lang din siya nung sa equation, no? Pero, once we divide this one, divide by a negative number, we will change the sense of the inequality. So, unlike sa equation, diba, walang change kasi equal lang naman yun. But here, so since we have here negative 4x is less than 20, so we will divide both sides by negative 4. So since that is a negative number, we change the sense of the inequality. So from less than, gagawin na natin greater than yung sign. So, yun lang yung mahalagang part dun. So, negative 4x divided by negative 4 is x. So, 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5. For solving linear equality, so it's the same process. So, yun pa rin ha, yung sa linear equation of procedure. So, subtract 3 from both sides. And since, again, we will divide here by a negative number, so don't forget to change the sense of the inequality. So, from less than or equal, make it greater than or equal to negative 4. This is the final answer. And for the problem, we have here, Rocky weighs 10 kilograms less than his father. Their combined weights total less than 150 kilograms. How heavy is Rocky? So 10 kilograms less than his father. So that is x minus 10. Ano? And let x be the father's weight. Okay, for the solution, sabi, their combined weights total less than 150 kilograms. We have here the less than sign. So just add the two numbers since sabi total. So we have to add, then so simplify 2x. Again, transpose. We have 150 plus 10, 160. So divide both sides by 2. Since positive naman yung i-divide, there's no need to change the sense of inequality. So you have x is less than 80 kilograms. And we need to find the weight of Rocky, and that is x minus 10. So just subtract 10 from 80 kilograms. So therefore, the weight of Ricky is about less than 70 kilograms. And that will be the answer. Okay. And that is the end of the elementary algebra. So medyo madami talaga siya sa algebra. Okay. Next, we have the statistics on probability. So start with the mean. Meron pa tayong part 2 kasi. Okay, for the mean, so this is just the sum of the scores divided by the number of scores in a given group. When say mean, it's just simply the average. Kukunin nyo lang yung sum, just add all the numbers and divide kung ilan yung ini-add ninyo na numbers. Okay, that is sum of all the entries all over the number of entries. For example, what is the mean of 23, 34, 46, 50, 62, 66, and 83? So for the solution, just add all the numbers. And then since we have here 7 numbers or 7 scores, so just divide by 7. So the answer is 52. Next, another measure of central tendency is the median, so middle. This is the central value of an ordered distribution. So ordered, so these are the steps or find the median. The first thing you need to do is to arrange the data from smallest to largest. So this is the important part, no? Dapat naka-arrange siya. So for an odd number of data values in the distribution, the median is just the middle data value. So after arranging, you can easily determine the median since odd number naman yon, so may gitna siya. But if for an even number of data values in the distribution, you'll get the two middle terms or the two middle two middle values, then get their sum, then divide by two or get their average of the two middle values. That is the median. Example. Okay, what is the median of the set of scores 10, 24, 18, 46, 32, 23, and 35? So for the solution, first thing we need to do is to arrange the given scores. So 10, we have 18, followed by 23, 24, then 32, 35, and 36. So we have how many? We have 7. So the fourth score is our median since thus it is at the center no, or the middle. So that is the median. Then another example, if the number of terms is an even number, so we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all we need to do is to get the average of the two middle values, which are 24 and 32. So you have 24 plus 32 is 2. So that is 56 divided by 2, 28. And make sure na dapat yung ma-obtain nyo na value ay nasa gitna nila, ng 24 and 32. Since 28 is between 24 and 32, so can say that our answer is correct. That's 28. And last, the easiest to compute among the measures of central, hindi pala siya compute. You just count lang kung ilan. So, mode is the value that occurs most frequently. And we also have different kinds of modes. So, unimodal if there's only one mode, bimodal if there are two modes, and if there are more than one mode or more than two modes, that's called multimodal. Okay, for example, what is the mode of the given set of data? We have 12, 16, 16, 18, 18, 22, 23, and 25. So, alin dyan yung naulit? We have 16, twice na ulit yung 16, and same with 18. Since pareha sila ng times na naulit, there are two modes here, 16 and 18, and this set of data is called bimodal since they have two modes. And pag naman halimbawa, yung 18 nadagdagan siya pa ng isa, so ang mode na lang niyan is 18 na lang since siya lang yung pinakamaraming beses na ulit. No, pag nadagdagan ng isang 18, magiging na siyang unimodal kapag isa lang yung mode. Okay? So yun lang yung mostly na sa measures of central tendency, the mean median mode or the measures of central tendency ng ungrouped data. Okay. Next, we have the counting techniques under statistics and probability. Okay, first we have the fundamental counting principle. So this is the number of ways in which a series of successive things can occur is found by just multiplying the number of ways in which each thing can occur. For example, if you own 2 pairs of jeans, 3 t-shirts, and 2 pairs of sneakers, how many possible outfits can you form? So to solve this, we will just apply the fundamental counting principle. So to get the number of possible outfits, you just need to multiply these numbers. So how many pairs of jeans, the number of t-shirts, and the number of pairs of sneakers. So you just need to multiply 2 times 3 times 2. So that is 6 times 2. The answer is 12. And this is the illustration of foreign. We have the pants here or the jeans. O pag pinair natin yan sa 3 shirts niya, so you have 1, 2, 3. Dun sa other jeans niya, 1, 2, 3. Then, after pairing that, pair naman natin sa kanyang dalawang shoes. So So you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yun lang, multiply nyo lang siya. Okay, another example. You're taking a multiple choice test that has 10 equations. So each of the questions has 4 answer choices. Or each of the question has 4 answer choices with 1 correct answer per question. So if you select one of these 4 choices for each question and leave nothing blank, in how many ways can you answer the questions? Since there are 4 choices for each item or for each question, diba, how many questions are there? 10. So, ilan ba yung ways that you can answer that question? So, all you have to do is to multiply the number of choices. 10 times. O ilan ba yung choices natin? Diba? For the first question, how many choices are there? There are 4. For the second question, still 4. And up to the 10th question, still 4. So, ang gagawin nyo lang, 4 raised to 10. So, um, that is the solution for this. 4 raised to 10, which is equal to 1,048,576 ways. So, this is the number of ways you can answer the given 10 questions. Okay, next permutation. So, meron naman ito sa calculator na formula, no? Pwedeng doon na lang. Okay. Permutation is an ordered arrangement of items that occurs when no item is used more than once. And also, the order of arrangements makes a difference. So, arrangement and the order is important, that is permutation. Okay, we have different types of permutations. If we have first the n permutations taken n at a time, meaning we will arrange all the objects, and you can solve for the number of permutations, n permutation taken at a time, by getting the n factorial. This is npn or the n factorial. So when you say factorialization, so minumultiply lang siya pabalik, no? For example, 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And take note that 0 factorial is equal to 1. Okay, for example, in how many ways can 6 books be arranged on a shelf? Well, there are 6 books. So, lahat sila i-arrange. So, to solve this, you just have to get 6 factorial, which is equal to 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 720. But that is the number of ways you can arrange those 6 books in a shelf. Basta arrangement, tapos taken all, and factorial. Okay, and permutations taken are at a time, meaning hindi nyo lahat i-arrange. So the formula for that is this, NPR, or just n factorial, all over the difference of n minus r factorial, where n is a total number of items and r is the number of items to be selected. Okay, example. A class is to select a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer from 7 class members. How many arrangements of class officers are possible? So here, di ba, once na-select na yung president, so ilan na lang yung choices for vice president, di ba nababawasan na, because here, order is important kapag sa election ng merong specific position. So for this, we'll apply this formula, 7p4, the 7p4 is equal to 7 factorial or n factorial over n minus r factorial. So 7 minus 4. So that is 3 factorial. So we can just cancel this, or you have 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 is 840. Okay, pwedeng ganito lang din. Diba, you have 7 class members. Ilan ba yung positions? President, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. So, stop lang kayo dun sa kaapat. So, 7 times 6 times 5 times 4. So, pwedeng gano'n na lang. Stop lang kayo dun sa ikaapat. Oh, that is 840. Okay, another type of permutation is the indistinguishable permutations, or permutations with not all distinct. Meaning, you cannot determine whether two objects or three objects exchange their possession kasi nga magkakapareho sila. They are alike, magkakamukha. Ano? Okay, so for that, marireduce yung number of permutation. So, yung n factorial, we will divide that by p factorial, q factorial, or factorial, where these objects are alike. Ano? Example, the covered walk of a school is to be lined with flags. How many different arrangements are there of the flags if 5 are blue, 3 are red, and 2 are white? So no, 'di ba? Hindi natin ma-differentiate if nag-exchange ng possession yung blue flags kasi magkakaparehas lang sila ng itsura. Same with the red flags and same with the white flags. So this problem involves indistinguishable permutations. For this, we need to apply the formula n factorial over p factorial q factorial r factorial. So for the solution, so bakit naging 10? Ilan lahat yung flags? 5 plus 3 plus 2, that is 10. And divide by the factorial of the blue flags, 3 flags, and 2 flags. And take note that the sum of these numbers should be equal to the value of n. Ha? Dapat pag pinag-add nyo yan para magkakaparehas, I mean, total niya pa rin is yung nasa numerator na value. Okay? Okay, just cancel lang yung pinakamalaki na factorial. So, we'll stop with 6. And also, you can cancel this na because 3 times 2 is 6. So, just multiply 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. Then, divide by 2. Or, pwede rin naman ganito na kung hindi nyo kaya cancel yon. So, pwedeng 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 divided by the product of this, which is 12. So, you will get 2,520. So, this is the number of different arrangements of given flags. Another. So, ito naman kapag may involved na letters na nauulit. So, how many different 9-letter words, real or imaginary, can be formed from the letters in the word committee? So, okay. So, we have here 2 M's in a committee, 2 T's, and 2 E. So, this reduces the number of different words. So, how many letters are there? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, ito rin yan, 9-letter words. So, since we have how many C? 1. And how many O are there? Only 1. And we have 2 M. So, you have 2 here, 2 factorial. And we have I, 1 factorial, and 2T. So, we have with 2 factorial. And last, we have 2E. So, 2 factorial. So, if we add these numbers, should get 9. Ano? Kasi minsan, pag mali yung sum nun, may kulang kayo. And then just simplify again. So, since 2 factorial lang yung pinakamalaki dito, we can just cancel until here. 2 factorial, and just get the product of this and divide by the product of the denominator. So, you have 181,440 divided by 4 is 45,360. So, this is the answer. And last, we have the circular permutation. Ito yung pinakamadali rin kasi you have to subtract 1 from the number of dun sa number of n. Example. In how many ways can 6 family members arrange themselves around a circular table? O circular table, so paikot siya, meaning this problem involves circular permutation. So how many family members are there? There are 6. So minus 1, you have 5. Then 5 factorial is just 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 120. So this is the number of ways can the 6 family members can arrange themselves around the circular table. So kapag ito kasi yung mga nasa last part na nung GenMat, itong mga ganitong question sa permutation, yan, mga dalawang tanong lang to. Medyo konti lang yung sa percentage na. Okay. Next, we have the combination. Combination naman for selection. So permutation is arrangement. And here, it occurs when the items are selected from the same group. And same, no item is used more than once. And the order of the items makes no difference. Meaning, select mo lang sites, okay na, basta selection lang siya na as a group. No. So, hindi important yung order niya or yung arrangement. So, that is combination. And we only have one formula for this, which is NCR is equal to n factorial over r factorial times the quantity of n minus r factorial. Again, n is the total number of items in the sample, and r is the number of items to be selected in the sample. Example natin. How many different committees of 4 people can be formed from a pool of 7 people? Ayan. Ilan, ang sabi lang dyan, how many different committees of 4? So, ilan lang ng set of 4. So, it doesn't matter kung ano yung arrangement ng apat na yon. That's why this problem involves combination. So, for the solution, it's just 7C4. So just substitute 7 factorial over 4 factorial times quantity of 7 minus 4 factorial. So just cancel yung larger value ng factorial notation, which is 4. Then just simplify 7 times 6 times 5. Or you can just cancel na here yung 6 and 6 here. Then just multiply 7 and 5. You have 35. And this is for the combination. Basta ito ay selection lang and doesn't matter kung ano yung order ng sinelect ninyo. Okay, combination. Okay, down to the last topic, we have the probability of events. Okay, probability is the measure of how likely an event is. It is expressed in fraction or in decimal or maybe in percent. So first, let us begin with the probability of simple events. So if each of the outcomes in a sample space is equally likely to occur, then probability of an event E, denoted as P of E, is given by this: the number of outcomes in the event all over the number of outcomes in the sample space. Okay. Example, a die is rolled once. Find the probability of obtaining a 5, and for the next question, an odd number 5. A die is rolled once. Ano ba yung numbers natin sa die? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ano lang yon? So, how many doon ang 5? Diba? Ay, wait. How many 5 are there? The sample space. Only 1. So, you have 1 over the number of elements in the sample space, which is 6. So 1 over 6. This is the probability of obtaining a 5. And for an odd number, you need to identify the odd numbers in the sample space, and those are 1, 3, 5. And how many are those? You have 3. So 3 over 6. On simplify, 1 half. So same with even number. So bang even number din is 3. So 1 half pa rin yung probability of obtaining an even number. Basta ang mahalaga lang doon is the denominator ng pag sa die of 6, pag sa coin 2 lang yun, maalin lang naman sa dalawa. And if there are 2 dice, edi na 6 times 6 lang, 36. Okay, complement of an event. So the probability that an event E will not occur is equal to 1 minus the probability that it will occur. So sometimes kasi hindi direct given yung probability, given is its complement. So that is probability of not E is just equal to 1 minus probability of E. So yun lang, lagi naman yun sa 1 lang. Subtract lang natin dun sa certain mangyayari, which is equal to 1 ang probability. Example, if the probability that it will rain tomorrow is 4 over 7, what is the probability that it will not? So you will just subtract 4 over 7 from 1. So 1 minus 4 over 7, that is 3 over 7. That is the probability that it will not rain tomorrow, 3 over 7. Okay, after the simple events, we have the probability of compound events. So compound events, this is an event which consists of more than one outcome, and it also consists of 2 or more simple events. So yun na, pag 2 dice na yung involved, then 2 events na yun. Okay, under this, we have the mutually and non-mutually exclusive events. When we say mutually exclusive events, these events have no outcomes in common. Okay, kaya mutually exclusive, no outcomes in common. And these events cannot happen at the same time, and they are also disjoint sets. So for example, so for you to see identify mutually exclusive events. So we have the right and left hand turns. So you can do that. You cannot do that at the same time. And then the even and odd numbers, a number cannot be even and odd at the same time also. You can also not also win and lose a game at the same time. Then you cannot run and walk also at the same time. So these are examples of mutually exclusive events. And for the non-mutually exclusive events, so it's just the opposite of mutually. So these are events that have outcomes in common and the events that can happen at the same time. Okay, example of some events are driving and listening to music. So you can drive and listen to music at the same time. Even numbers and prime numbers. So even numbers, o 'di ba, we have one even prime number which is 2. So puwedeng may meron silang intersection. Then losing a game and scoring. Oh, you can lose a game but still you have score no sa game. And running and sweating, of course. These events can happen at the same time. Example na tayo ng probability. Probability of mutually exclusive events. If probability of A or B, if you need to solve for the probability of A or B and they are mutually exclusive, all you have to do is to add the probability of those two simple events. That is probability of A plus probability of B. Example. A card is drawn at random from a standard deck of cards. What is the probability of drawing a queen or a king? Before we answer this, let us recall the standard deck of cards. For the standard deck of cards, we have here ace. So it consists of 52 cards, a standard deck of cards. And we have 4 suits, the clubs, the spades, the hearts, and the diamonds. And from the 52 cards, we have 26 black cards, and those are the clubs and the spades. And for the red cards, we have the hearts and diamonds. And each suit consists of 13 cards. The ace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the jack, the queen, and the king. Also, we have the face cards, the jack, queen, and king. So, since we have 4 suits, so how many face cards are there? So, there are 12, so 3 face cards for club, 3 for spades, 3 for hearts, and 3 for diamonds. So, all in all, we have 12 face cards. Okay, let's now solve the problem. Okay, queen or a king? So, how many are queen? How many are queen in the standard deck of cards? So, 1 for each suit, 'di ba? So, you have 4 over 52. How about king? Ito yung keyword kapag mutually ha, or. Or. Kapag or, magpa-plus lang kayo ng probability. So, you have, sa king naman, same lang sa queen. Meron ba silang intersection? Meron bang card na queen and king at the same time? 'Di ba wala? So, you just have to add their probability. So, 4 over 52 plus 4 over 52 is 8 over 52. Just get the lowest term for both divisible by 4. So, you have 2 over 13. Okay. So, probability of non-mutually. So, pag naman, if the events naman are non-mutually exclusive events, meaning they have an intersection. Okay, may intersection sila dito. So, since you need to add both probabilities ng two events and they have intersection pa, so makakount twice yung kanilang intersection. So, you need to subtract that intersection from the sum of those two events or from the sum of the probability of those two events. So, we need to subtract the probability of A and B or the probability of their intersection. For example, wait. If a black and a red die are rolled simultaneously, what is the probability of getting a number 5 on the red die or getting a sum of 7 from the two dice? Okay, this is the sample space for two dice. So you have getting a 5 on the red die. So what are those possibilities? So you have 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5. And for getting a sum of 7 from the two dice, ano ba yung mga pairs na yon? We have 1, 6, 2, 5, and then we have 7, diba? 3, 3, 4, and 4, 3. Then we also have 5, 2, and 6, 1. So, then lahat yan. And you can see here, from this figure, they have an intersection, which is the pair 2 and 5. So since makakount natin siya dito sa first event, then sa second event din, so we need to subtract this from the sum. Kasi makakount siya twice, diba? Okay, so you have here the solution. So getting a 5, so you have 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5 as shown in the figure. And for D naman, getting a sum of 7, so we have these possibilities. And for their intersection, so 2, 5, alin yung may 5 sa red die, and at the same time, ang sampan ay 7 nung dalawang die. That is 2, 5. So to get the answer, so just get how many elements pa dun sa first set. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 over 36. So but remember na kapag 2 dice, laging over 36 yon. Then 6 over 36 plus 6 over 36 and minus their intersection, 1 over 36. So you have 11 over 36. So that is your probability. Okay, remember, mutually and non-mutually exclusive events, keyword there is or. And the operation is just addition, and you just need to subtract if the two events of intersection, pag may intersection lang. If none, just add the two probabilities. Now we have the independent and dependent events. So when knowledge of whether an event occurs affects the probability of a second event, the events are said to be dependent. While when knowledge of the first event does not affect the probability of the second, the events are independent. Okay. This is the probability of independence event. So the keyword naman dito is the word and or then. Kung ganun. So it's just probability of A and B is the probability of A intersection B. So kapag independent events, multiply. Probability of A times probability of B. So a bag contains 2 red marbles and 1 blue marble. So Kevin rolls a marble, then returns it to the bag. He draws a second marble. What is the probability that the first marble is red and the second one is blue? Okay, take note of this word returns. So binalik yung marble before drawing the second marble. Meaning, hindi na bago yung number of balls inside the bag. So meaning, these events are independent events since hindi nag-change yung denominator. So yun yung i-consider nyo dun ha. Returns it to the bag. So for the solution, you just need to multiply the probabilities. How many marbles are there? A total. It's always the denominator. And for the red, how many marbles are red? So you have 2. 2/3 times 1/3. That is 2 over 9. Okay. So next, for the probability of dependent events, so since they are dependent, so affected yung probability of the second event nung occurrence ng first event. So that is probability of A times probability of B following A. For example, a box contains 3 white chips and 2 black chips. 2 chips are drawn at random from the box. So one at a time without replacement. Meaning, hindi binabalik, no? Or hindi pinapalitan yung chips once na nakapag-draw na. So, find the probability that the first chip is white and the second chip is black. Okay, what will happen to the probability? Oh, how many chips are there? You have 5. That's why we have 5 here. Oh, first chip daw is white. So, how many are white? There are 3. So, you have 3/5. Now, since we have here the word without replacement, so that is the keyword na once na nakapag-draw na tayo ng first chip, mababawasan na yung number of chips inside the box. That's why, for the probability that the second chip is black, our denominator now, subtract tayo ng 1, no? Less than 1 na siya because nga, without replacement. And how many black chips are there? 2. So that's why we only have 2 over 4 here instead of 2 over 5 because of this word without replacement. So just simply multiply 3 times 2, 6, 5 times 4, is 20. And get the lowest term, you have 3 over 10. Okay, last na to. Conditional probability. It's just probability of dependent events, no? The twist. Kasi may given a condition from the word conditional probability. So this is the probability of A given that B is equal to the probability of A and B, or the intersection of the two given events given that B. Just take note of the condition. So ito mostly naman naka-indicate na siya. For example, a mathematics teacher gave her class 2 tests. 25% of the class passed both tests, and 42% of the class passed the first test. Okay, so question is, what percent of those who passed the first test also passed the second test? So for our solution, sabi daw, 25% of the class pass both tests. So that is their intersection. So you just have to substitute the decimal form of the 25%, which is 0.25. And sabi daw, who passed the first has also passed the second test. So what is the probability that the student passed the first test? No, so that is 42% given na. So 0.42, and that is 0.25 divided by 0.42, 60%. Basta take note, yung probability dapat hindi mag-exceed sa 1. Lagi lang siyang less than 1 or exactly 1 yung probability. Take note of that. Hindi siya lalampas ng 100% or ng 1. Okay. Down to the parts. Okay, please do participate ha. Again, please use our chat box, or pwede rin naman kayong mag-open ng microphone to answer. Okay. First question. If lines S and N are both perpendicular to line U, then S and N are said to be blank. And these are the choices. A, intersecting, B, perpendicular, C, parallel, D, concurrent. Makikita natin yung one answer. Kala ko may nagsagot. Wala pa din. Okay, what is the answer for this item? Asan na yung active nating participants kanina? Okay, what's the answer for this item, for this question? What do you think is their relation, or what type of line are they? Wala? Saan na yung kaninang sumasagot? Nawala sina Mr. Suarez, sina Miss Limbo. Sino pa nga yung kanina? Ano ba si Mr. Suarez? What's the answer for this? You can guess. Okay, guess you have no idea on how to answer this. Okay, so let us try to illustrate. Okay, wait lang, may nag-chat nga ba? Okay, letter A. How about the others? Pwede kayo mag-try. Okay, the best way to solve these problems to illustrate. So, since lines S and N are perpendicular to line U, we can first draw the line U, yung line U. Okay, wait. Okay, this is the line U. Since they are both perpendicular, so yung line natin pa ganyan, no? Kasi diba, yun ang nagpo-form yun ng 90 degrees. So we have here line S and line N. Now, based on this figure, what can you say about lines S and N? They're what? They are what? Okay? Yes, correct. They are parallel. Okay. Si Mr. Suarez na lang sumasagot. Okay, so the correct answer is letter C, parallel. Another question. How many line segments can pass through two distinct points? A none, B one, C two, and D infinitely many. Okay, how many line segments can pass through two distinct points? How many? Okay. Okay, si Mr. Suarez na lang kausap ko. How about the others? Okay, only one. Since two distinct points lang yon, only one can pass through those two distinct points. Okay, meron si Miss Dunka. Thank you for your participation. Okay, next item. So the answer is only one. Okay, how many triangles are there in a regular decagon? Okay, remember our formula here, n minus 2. Formula here is n minus 2. So we have A8, B9, C10, and D11. How many triangles are there in a regular decagon? And the formula for this is n minus 2. What is the answer? Okay, yes. Letter A, 8. Okay, 10 minus, just 10 minus 2. Okay, so we have 8. And remember that decagon has 10 sides. Next, the ratio of an interior angle to an exterior angle of a regular polygon is 4:2. How many sides does the regular polygon have? A6, B7, C8, and D9. Okay, again, di ba pinakita ko sa inyo yung illustration ng interior and exterior angle? So they form what? A linear pair. They form a linear pair. So their sum must be equal to how many degrees? If they form a linear pair. Okay, an idea? Also need to apply here the formula ng exterior angles for you to determine the number of sides. Kasi once you know na the number of sides, so pwede nyo na siyang solve dito. Okay, let us now show the solution. Okay, so exterior angles, again, and interior angles are supplementary and form a linear pair, meaning their sum is 180 degrees. So for this, you have 46 plus 2x is equal to 180 degrees. So You have 6x equals 180 degrees and divide both sides by 6, that is 30 degrees. And for the interior angle, so we know that the interior angle of this polygon is 120 degrees and the measure of the exterior angle is 60 degrees. Oh, so mas madaling ma-compute dito yung number of sides if you will use the formula for finding the exterior angle, 'di ba? Or the number of sides given the exterior angle, 'di ba? The total lang naman of the exterior angle of any polygon is 360 degrees. So you can just divide, you can just use this formula, 'di ba? So you have 360 degrees is equal to n, and given the measure of the one of the exterior angle 60 degrees, so you can just simplify this. So 360 divided by 60 is 6. Ano? So there are 6 sides. O what's the answer? Letter A. So yan lang yung gagawin nyo dito ha. So since naka-degrees pa yun, once yung nakuha yung x and c, since we need to find the number of sides, so pipili lang kayo kung alin sa anterior angles and exterior angles ang need nyo ang gamitin na formula. So since mas convenient yung exterior angle, so mas madali siyang gamitin, so yun lang. Yun yung gagamitin nyo na formula to solve for the value of n or for the number of sides. Next. Okay, F is the midpoint of segment DH. So midpoint meaning fall siya dun sa middle ng segment. And G is the midpoint of segment FH. If the length of segment GH is 8 units, then how long is segment DH? These are the choices: A 48, B 40, C 40, and D 24. Can also illustrate the problem para mas ma-visualize niya siya. Okay, any idea? Given yung length ng GH, mas okay pag i-draw nyo yung bawat midpoint, no? So, mas ma-visualize doon kung alin yung 8 units, ano yung length ng other parts of the segment. Okay, guys, try kayo ng answer. Okay, we have 2 responses. Okay. C, different yung answer nila, C and A. O, let us see kung paano siya sinasolve. Okay, again, F is the midpoint of segment DH. So, yun muna i-draw natin. Segment DH. So, you have DH here. And the midpoints meaning nagpo-fall yun between them, 'di ba? Yung point F. And after that, we have G as the midpoint of FH. So, this is the segment FH. So, you have G here. And given na yung length ng GH which is 8 units. Meaning, this part measures 8 units. So, since midpoint to, meaning they have the same measure. So, kung if this part measures 8 units, therefore, 8 units din yan. And since midpoint, it's 1, F is the midpoint of line segment DH. So, kung ito ay 8 units plus 8 units, which is 16 units, therefore, this part or line segment DF also measures 16 units. So, just add. So, 16 plus 8 plus 8, you have 32. So, that is the answer. Parang tama naman. Sino nga yung sumagot kanina? Okay, si Ms. Dungka. Okay, next. Okay. If triangle LAB, in triangle LAB, angle L is equal to 50 degrees. Angle A is 70 degrees. And angle B is 60 degrees. So what is the arrangement of each sides from longest to shortest? So we have A, B, C, and D. So these are the options. take the arrangement of its sides. Sides ang i-arrange ha, from longest to shortest. Okay, an idea? Okay, what would be the arrangement of its sides from longest to shortest? Can draw the triangles. Try natin. Okay, based on this, what will be the arrangement of its sides? Okay, no idea? Okay, meron ang nag-message. Wait. Letter B. Okay, let us see. O kapag ganito ang given, so 'di ba opposite nung smallest angle, that is the shortest side. The opposite, the longest, the largest angle, so that is the longest side also. Kasi malaki yung buka, 'di ba, nung angle. So yun yung may longest side. So yung opposite niya. Okay? So since longest to shortest, so what is the opposite side of this angle, the 70-degree angle or angle A? So that is LB. So maalan sa letter C or letter D. The next angle is 60 degrees. So opposite ng 60 degrees is the side AL or LA. So this one, so opposite angle L is 50 degrees, so you have AB. So without this illustration, pwede nyo rin yung malaman. So, di ba, just look at this angle, di ba, 70 degrees. This is the highest angle or the largest angle, 70 degrees. So since A to, so ano ba yung other letters? Di ba, LB. So yun na yung una, LB. Next, we have 60 degrees. So you have B. What are the other two letters? LA. So yun yung next. Last, we have AB. AB, it's because we have here angle L is 50 degrees. So what are the other two letters? AB. So that is how you arrange sides of triangle given the measures of its angle. No, ganun yung process. So pag shortest to longest, ay you will begin naman sa may angle na smallest. Ano? So the answer is letter D. Okay, next, if the median of a trapezoid measures 12 inches and one base is 9 inches, how long is the other base? It's a trapezoid. So we have here A, 13 inches, 15 inches, 18 inches, and 21 inches. Okay. Here, to solve this, the median is just the average of the lengths of the two bases. No, yung median yung nasa gitna na line. So, ang gagawin niyo lang dyan, so, ano yung other length of the base? Na dapat, pag ini-add nyo yun sa 9, their average is 12. What's that number? Again, the median of a trapezoid is just the average of the length of the two bases. How long is the other base? Okay. Okay, again, the trapezoid midsegment is equal to the average of the lengths of the bases. So let us have the illustration. So para mas mabilis sa inyo. Okay? Oh, we have 3 answers. Okay, letter B. Because, okay, oh, you can just do trial and error. No? Pero mas madali pagko-compute niyo siya. So, gagawin niyo lang naman, multiply niyo lang sa 2 yung mid-segment or the medya ng trapezoid. So, 2, and then just subtract yung 9. So, 24 minus 9 is 15. So, 15 inches. That is the length of the other base. So, take note of this property, ha. Next, angles A and B form a linear pair. So if the measure of angle A is twice the measure of angle B plus 9 degrees, then what is the measure of angle A? So we have 52 degrees, 57 degrees, and 123 degrees, 128 degrees. Okay, to do the algebra here. Meaning, we have measure of angle A plus measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees. So then you will have to substitute this value dun sa measure ng angle A. Then proceed na sa solution. Oops. Okay. Answer. What will be the equation for this? 2 times the measure of angle B plus 9 degrees plus measure of angle B equals 180 degrees. So, yun. So, masosolve nyo yung measure of angle B. So, from that, substitute nyo lang yun dito sa given na equation for measure of angle A. Okay? Answer? O, algebra lang yan. Okay, we have one answer. Ay, diba? Kanina pa pala yun. Oh, but here, this item, may binigyan ko na kayo ng clue. It's just 2 times the measure of angle B plus 9 degrees plus measure of angle B equals 180 degrees since they form a linear pair. Okay, let us have the solution. So measure of angle A plus measure of angle B is 180 degrees. So substitute natin yung given na value na measure of angle A in terms of angle B. So that is twice the measure of angle B plus 9 degrees. We have here the variable. So this will serve as our variable, the measure of angle B. So we have 2 times measure of angle B plus measure of angle B. So parang yun na yung variables natin. So we have 3 measure of angle B plus 9 degrees equals 180 degrees. And subtract both 9 degrees from both sides. So you have 3 measure of angle B equals 180 minus 9 is 171 degrees. Divide both sides by 3 and that is equal to 57 degrees. But we are looking for the measure of angle A, so we still have to substitute
Jervin, nag-blackout ba si Ma'am Mayan mo?
Opo, nawala po.
Oo nga, bigla nawala. Akala ko yung nawala. Sige. Let's just wait. So, very good dun sa mga nagpa-participate. Tsaka yung mga nandito pa na nag-a-attend. Yung ating mga alumni na masipag umattend. And our undergrad. Yung iba naman nanonood sa YouTube, ano? Kaya alam mukhang takot kayo. Practice test yun, hindi yun yung talagang board exam na. So, huwag kayong matakot magkamali sa mga sagot nyo. Wait lang natin siya. Baka na-disconnect lang. Wala pa naman akong natatanggap na chat kay Mamian. Ayun, na-disconnect daw siya. Wait lang daw. So, I will request for the copy of the PowerPoint presentation so that you can go back with that when you go back with the review for mathematics. Aside from the video, so pwede nyong ma-review yung PowerPoint presentation pag wala kayong data para mag-view ng video sa ating website. But you are always strongly encouraged to visit the website. So, yun ay pinaghihirapan ni Sir Josh nyo na i-upload yung mga doon, videos, may mga materials doon. So, nandun lahat. So, kaya yung mga, lalo na yung mga alumni, kasi talagang kayo, para sa inyo naman talaga yon. This BLEF review session is really focus for your BLEP exam. Kaya sana naman ay dumami-dami kayo. Kukunti lang yung mga nandito. Pero naiintindihan ko naman kasi most of them are actually working. So marami na nagtatrabaho sa mga alumni natin. So bahala na sila sa kanilang pagre-review. Palagi ko na manonood sila. Sige. So if you have questions, pwede naman kayong magtanong kay Ma'am Mayan nyo. Okay? So, ang math kasi hindi yan hindi yan overnight na natatatak sa utak niyo yung mga concepts kasi madaming areas talaga yung mathematics. So, hindi sapat yung isang araw lang na review session for mathematics. But then, yung mga nakukuha nating mga learnings from Mayan, it's very important. So, especially for the alumni po, you go back with the video and then with the PowerPoint presentation, especially the practice test items. Okay? Sir Josh, kanina ba nakapag-picture ba kayo kanina?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Paano na lang pasend na lang sa akin nung natin. Pictures for documentation and para maano natin maisama sa report. So, wait lang natin. Na-disconnect daw siya. Saglit lang. Any announcement, Sir Josh? Ayan na.
Meron na. Nawawala
Okay,
yung PLD. Tinawala sa laptop yung internet. Pawala-wala siya. Kanina nawala din ako. I'm sorry.
Okay lang yan. Sige.
Okay po. Let us continue. Okay. Okay, again, let us have this problem. In parallelogram WXYZ, the measures of angle W and angle X, or 3x minus 10 degrees, and the other one is 2x minus 5 degrees. What is the measure of angle W? Okay, these are the choices. A, 39 degrees, B, 47 degrees, and C, 73 degrees. Okay, have here W and X, diba? And you can say that they are what? Adjacent angles. And the sum of adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary. So their sum must be equal to 180 degrees. So what will be the measure of angle W? So this is the choice for letter D. Okay, all you have to do is to equate this to 180 degrees, their sum. Okay, what is the measure of angle W? Okay, we have here one answer. Okay, very active talaga si Mr. Suarez. Okay, D, 107 degrees. Let us have the solution. Again, since W and X are adjacent angles, okay, so the sum of these angles equal to 180 degrees. So just substitute the given expression. So you have 3x minus 10 and 2x minus 5. We have another answer here. Right. Letter A from Miss Dunka. Let's see. And simplify. So you combine like terms. So 3x plus 2x is 5x. And then combine negative 10 and negative 5. So you have negative 15. So 180. So transpose negative 15 to the right side of the equation. That is 180 plus 15. So you have 195. So divide by 5. You have 39 degrees. But we need to solve for the length, the measure of the angle W. That is just 3x minus 10. So just multiply the value of x by x, then subtract 10. So you have 3 times 39 degrees minus 10 degrees is equal to 107 degrees. Okay. Oh, wait lang Yung na-obtain na value of x is also one of the solutions. So you have to check the problem kasi we are looking for the measure of angle W. So after getting the value of x, you need to substitute pa for this expression na 3x minus 10. So the answer here is 107 degrees. Okay, next item. A right triangle is inscribed in a circle, meaning the right triangle is inside the circle. So if the hypotenuse measures 18 centimeters, how long is the radius of the circle? Here are the choices: 9 centimeters, 18 centimeters, 27 centimeters, and D, 36 centimeters. This thing is the answer here. Right triangle yun. So if you draw, yan, okay, may answer na. Okay, A. Very good. Letter A. So let us have the illustration. Okay, so kapag ganyan, so if you inscribe a right triangle in a circle, so palaging yung hypotenuse nun is what? Is the diameter. So since we're looking for the radius, so divide nyo lamang yung hypotenuse by 2. That is 18 divided by 2, which is equal to 9. Okay. 9 centimeters. Okay, hope is everything clear so far. So nasa-solve naman natin lahat ng mga problems na hindi nyo masyadong nasasagutan, no? But nasasagutan nyo naman yung iba, which is a good thing. Okay, dito na tayo sa algebra. O, basic lang. Write this quantity of 4xy is to 2 in simple form. So these are the choices. It's the answer here. Okay. Okay, very good. Letter D. The answer is letter D. So, don't forget to distribute the power, yung exponent na 2. Ano? So, you have 16x squared, y squared. Next. Find the value of 2a squared b minus 3b cubed if a is equal to 2 and b is negative 1. So these are the choices. A 5, B 11, C negative 5, and D negative 11. Okay, we have now an answer. Okay, 2 answers na. Para dadalawa yung sumasagot. Ay, si Miss Riando, ayan. Dalawa yung answer mo, Mr. Suarez. Letter C. Koy, be careful with the sign, ha? Okay, let us have the solution. Okay, for 2a squared minus 3b cubed, so just substitute the given values of a and b. So you have 2 square here. So pwede nyo siyang i-calculate mentally, no? Direct substitution na. So you have negative 8 here since the value of b is negative. So you have negative 1 and the exponent of b is an odd number. So negative pa rin yung answer. And negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5 since higher yung absolute value ng negative 8. So the answer is negative 5 which is letter C. So tama si Mr. Suarez. Okay, next. What is the complete factorization of x cubed plus x squared minus 2x? So these are the choices. Okay. Bakit dalawa sagot nyo? Okay. B. Are sure? So take note of the sign of the last term, no? Negative. So, meaning, dapat opposite yung sign nila. Kasi trinomial to eh. So, pwede na nating exclude yung option B and option C. Oh, what's the answer? Okay, another thing na kailangan yung tingnan. Diba sa trinomial, so kanong kinukuha natin doon? Yung factors ng last term, negative 2 here. Pero before that, no, kailangan ba nating i-factor out yung x dito kasi lahat sila may x, diba? So yung common monomial factoring. Then, after natin ma-factor out yung variable na yon, anong mga matitira? Trinomial. So, diba, ang technique doon, isip kayo ng number na ang product is the constant. So, in this case, we have negative 2. Wait, sige, pakita ko na yung solution. Okay, so negative 2. So, di ba, pinactor out yung x. So, we have x squared plus x minus 2. Okay, now, our constant here is negative. So, alam niyo na agad. So, di ba, dito agad kayo titingin. So, yung negative, yung value dapat or yung sign dapat nung dalawang factors ay opposite. One is negative, one is positive or minus and plus. So, pwede na nating i-disregard yung option B and C. So, hindi na ito yung magiging answer. So, maalin na lang sa letter A and D. But, here, tingnan nyo yung sign ng middle term. Plus. Diba plus? So, alin na ba't ang mas mataas? Nasaan dapat yung positive sign? Nandun sa higher value. O alin dyan yung mas mataas? Di ba yung 2? So, alin ang sagot? Letter A. Ano, kahit hindi nyo siya i-factor talaga. So, titingnan nyo lamang yung options. Nakuha ba yung process? O basta ito opposite ng sign. Basta ito negative, dapat kailangan magkaiba yung sign ng bawat factors. So, again, can eliminate na option B and option C. Kasi parehas positive ang kalalabasan yan, di ba? And since yung positive yung sign or plus yung operation natin dun sa middle term, no? So, dapat yung plus sign natin dun sa two factors ay alin? Yung 2 ang positive. Bakit di pa rin yung sagot nyo? What is the answer? Letter A. Ano? The answer is letter A. Not D. Basta yung gitna dapat titingnan nyo dun. Yung 2. Okay? Nakuha ba? Hindi D ha. Okay, next na. Okay, what is the simplified form of 8x plus 2y minus quantity of 3x minus 7y? So we have A is 5 times quantity of xy, so B, C, and D. Okay, answer na tayo. Okay, letter. Ayan, letter D. So, 8x, pwedeng tingnan na dito, 8x minus 3x, so 5x. So, maalin na lang dito sa B and C, di ba? So, 2y minus negative. So, don't forget yun, i-distribute yung negative sign. So, 2y plus 7y is 9y. Okay, okay, letter D. The answer is letter D. So, kasi dapat i-distribute yung negative sign ha. Don't forget that. Okay, so pwede siyang 2y plus 7y is positive 9y. Okay, answer is letter D. Okay, next, simplify. These are the options. We have 36x cubed y squared z over 9x squared y z raised to 4. Tingnan mabuti. Tingnan nyo mabuti yung given. Okay, compare nyo to. 'Di ba? Anong sabi ko kanina? Kapag yung exponent ng variable, yan, okay. Yung exponent ng variable ay, yung nasa sa denominator, may mas mataas compared dun sa numerator, may iwan siya sa ilalim. O, 'di ba? So, dito, yung exponent ng z sa numerator is 1. And sa denominator naman is 4. So magiging siyang 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So, iwan siya sa baba. No? So, nalamatit ka since itong sa x cube and sa y squared, both of them ay mas mataas compared dun sa exponent no x and y dun sa denominator. So, nandun pa sa taas. And 36 divided by 9 is 4 since 36 is higher than 9. Ano? So, yun pa rin siya sa numerator. So, 4xy over z cube. So, that is the answer. Letter C. Okay, problem. So, ito, mag-solve kayo para ma-practice kayo pag-solve. Okay, a poultry farm has chickens and pigs. When Mang Pedro counted the heads of the stock, the count was 258. However, when the number of legs was counted, the count was 756. How many pigs are there in the farm? So these are the choices. A, 118, B, 120, C, 124, and D, 138. In this problem, you consider the number of legs, no? So kapag chicken, how many legs? You have 2. And for sa pigs naman, you have 4. You can use variables to represent the number of chicken, number of pigs. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Kaya medyo ano yan i-compute. Okay? The C, meron ng may sagot. Okay, letter C. Okay. Letter C, kung ano yung sagot. Oh, meron pa isang response. Wait lang, check ko lang. Okay, C. Letter C, the solution. Okay, so can assign values of x variables, the number of chickens. So let x be the number of chickens and y be the number of pigs. So since we know that here sa problem, the heads is equal to 258. So then yung sa number of legs naman, since the number of legs ng chicken ay 2, so 2x plus 4y equals 756. And from this, we can solve for the value of x in terms of y, which is 258 minus y. So from this, x is equal to 258 minus y. Okay ba yun? Wait lang. Here. Just transpose negative y. Transpose lang natin. And from this, after nun, saka natin isa-substitute yung value of x to this dun sa other equation natin na 2x plus 4y equals 756. You have 2 times 258 is 516 minus 2y plus 4y equals 756. 2y is equal to 756 minus 516. And simplify, y is equal to 120. So the answer is 120. So how did you come up with C? Anyway, this is the correct solution, 120. The value of, the number of pigs is 120. Okay. So the sum of 5 consecutive odd integers is 185. So what is the value of the smallest number? So you have A is 33, B 35, C 37, D 39. can express 5 consecutive integers as like this. So we have 2x plus 1, 2x plus 3, 2x plus 5, 2x plus 7, 2x plus 11. Kasi 'di ba pag even number, so lagi yung may sobra na 1 na ano 'di ba? So kaya to express odd integers or consecutive odd integers, we have 2x plus 1, 2x plus 3, 2x plus 5, and so on. Okay, let's have the answer. Okay, A. Oh, may C ang sagot. Again, we are looking for the value of the smallest number. Let us have the solution. Ano yung sagot nyo? A, C. A or C. Let us see kung ano ang sagot. Okay, these are the representation of the 5 consecutive integers. So, pag add ganito, 2x plus 2, 2x plus 3, 2x plus 5, 2x plus 7, 2x plus 9 pala. Sabi ko yan, 2x plus 9. So, kapag even numbers naman, ay di 2, magiging naman itong even numbers. Ito ang nandito. 2x plus 2, 2x plus 4, ganun. Then, just add. So, you have how many? 10 to 10x plus the sum of these numbers. So, you have 25 equals 185. So, subtract. You have 160 divide 10. So, you have 33. So, this is the... At ano nga ang sagot nyo? Okay, letter A, correct. Letter A, 33. So, pwede rin naman kayong mag-try din dun sa given, add nyo 33 plus ganun. Kung mas naitatagalan kayo sa paggamit ng algebra, so you can have the trial and error. So, sa given, dugsungan nyo lang siya. Since smallest number naman yung tanong, di ba? So, dugsungan nyo lamang yung given na digit. So, ganun lang. Okay, next item. Okay. Chemist mixed a 7% acid solution and a 12% acid solution. So the resulting solution was 6 liters of a 10% acid solution. So how many liters of 12% acid solution did he mix? A, 1.2 liters, B, 2.4 liters, C, 3.2 liters, and D, 3.6 liters. So dito sa problem na to, given yung resulting or yung sum nung dalawang solution na pinagmix in 7% and the 12%. So how will you express that? Yung kung ilan yung amount nung 7% acid solution and 12% acid solution. How will you express that? So the other one will be x. The other one will be x minus 6. So kung alin yung hinahanap, so dito sa 12%, doon kayo maglalagay ng x. The other one is 6 minus x pala. 6 minus x. Kasi mag-negative. So 12% yung sa x. Then for the 7% is 6 minus x. Then just equate dun sa 6 letters times 10% solution. Okay. So this is the solution. Okay. So since we are looking for the number of letters sa 12% solution, so yun yung gagawin yung x. Given kasi yung sum dito. So dapat pag pinag-add nyo tong numbers na to and numbers na yan, dapat 6 yung kalalabasan. So kapag naman hinahanap ay yung 7% acid solution, ay dito naman kayo maglalagay ng x besides 0.07. And yun namang 6 minus x, dun sa 0.12x. Para lang mas madali yung computation, para direct na agad yung answer. O pag ganito yung type of mixture problem, o ganito yung gagawin yung process kapag given yung mismong solution. Kasi madali lang kapag ang hinahanap lang ay yung nandito sa part, dito sa left side. So, kasi i-add mo lang naman yun, x plus the number of. So, mas madali yun. So, yun yung most common na type of problem. So, pag ganito naman, so, ganito yung gagawin nyo na procedure. So, just simplify. So, 0.42 minus, yan, plus 0.12x equals 0.x. Then, 0.42 plus 0.05x equals 0.06x. And just divide by 0.18. So, you have 3.6 liters. Ano? So, that is the answer, 3.6 liters. So, yun lang yung process sa pag-mix, mixture problem. Okay, next. The area of a square does not exceed 440 square centimeters. So, what is the largest possible integral length of each side? Okay, these are the solutions. So, naka-base sa options sa inyong answer. Okay, what is the answer? What is the largest possible integral length of each side? Okay, recall the formula for the area of the square. It's just S square. So, alin dyan yung kapag in a square mo, hindi mag-exceed sa 440? Which one? Alin dyan ang hindi mag-exceed sa 440 square centimeters? Okay. The correct answer is letter A, correct. Si Miss Dungka. And kasi P multiply 21, 21. So, 441 na agad yun. So nag-exit na siya ng 1. Eh, how much more yung 22 and 23, diba? So, that's why our answer here is 20 centimeters or letter A. Next. Two jeepneys traveling in opposite directions started from the same location at 2 p.m. So one jeepney travels at 60 kilometers per hour while the other travels at 55 kilometers per hour. At 4:12 p.m., how far apart will the two cars be or the two jeepneys be? Okay, these are the choices. We have A, 245 kilometers, B, 249 kilometers, 253, and 260 kilometers. Okay, we'll apply the formula for the distance. Remember that distance is equal to the rate times time. So, i-include ko na ng mga problems yung medyo may trill. Kasi pag mga basic problems naman, you can do that in your own na. Okay, an idea? So, take note of this yung 2 p.m. then 4:12 p.m. So, i-add nyo lang yung dalawang distance ng dalawang jeepneys. Oh, may pa 5 na pala. Okay. Sige, recall natin distance is equal to rate times time. Oh, subtract natin kung ilan yung hours. So, from 4:12, di ba? Then, nag-start sila ng 2 p.m. Oh, that is 2 hours, then 12 minutes. So, convert natin sa hours, so 12 over 60 para yung minutes natin ma-convert din sa hours. So you have 2.2 hours. So yun na yung i-apply natin dun sa formula na rate times time. So the first distance, sa distance ng first jeepney, di ba? the rate of the jeepney is 60. So times the given hours, di ba kung gaano yung interval from 2 p.m. to 4:12 p.m., 2.2. Plus the rate of the second jeepney, then again, times ulit dun sa R, then equals T. So just simplify. So 132 plus 121 is 253 kilometers. Ganun lang yung gagawin nyo. So add nyo lang yung two distances. Kasi ganyan yung type ng problems. Mabilis lang siya i-solve. Okay, next. Ito na, madadali nito. What is the median of the means of this? 84, 86, 87, 90, and 85, 88. Madali lang to. Median, mid of the means. Kukunan nyo muna yung mean, then identify the median. Okay. May one answer tayo. Okay. Gitna ha. Okay. Other answer. Letter B. Ayan, letter B. Okay. Median nga. Okay. Dito naman, di ba? Alam niyo na agad yung mean nito. Gitna lang. 84, 85. Ay, yung mean pala. Pag ganito, 84, 85, 86. Yun lang din yun. Then for 87, 88, 89, 90. So somewhere between 87 and 90. Ito naman, 85 and 88. So alin doon, no? Makikita niyo na agad doon kung alin yung nasa gitna. Ay di yung sa 85 and 88, no? Kasi dito, mas mababa dito 85. Kasi ito, much higher. Kasi mas malaki yung numbers. So yun. So the answer is letter B, 86.5. Okay. Ito naman, to favorite din tong itanong. So, on the first 4 quizzes, Nell received scores 82, 86, 89, and 87. What is the score he needs on the 5th quiz to get an average of 88? 83, 88, 92, 96. Okay. Analyze natin ha. Okay. If 83 yung answer, di ba? Tingnan nyo, 82, 86, 89, 87. So, 88 yung target niya. So, pag 83, okay, sige, wait lang. May nagsagot. Okay, correct. Letter D. Pero i-analyze natin na. So, pag 82, at di ba 82 na ngayon mababa siya sa first quiz. So, pag 83 pa, yung kanya magikukuha, hindi siya mag-reach sa average na 88, di ba? So, pag 88 naman, so medyo kakapusin pa rin since 82 nga siya dito. So, mag-fall lang dyan ng around 86, 87. O, maalin lang sa 92 and 96. O, dun yung pwede siyang i-try, no? Dun sa 92 and 96. Pero, if you want to use algebra, ang gagawin nyo lang dyan, di ba, the given average, how many scores are there? Or how many quizzes? They have 5. So, all you have to do is to multiply the average by 5. Then, di ba, 88 times 5, subtract nyo yung sum ng lahat ng scores na to. Yung 82 plus 86, 89, and 87. So that is 82 plus 86 plus 89 plus 87 plus x all over 5. So kaya ang gagawin nyo lang, just multiply 88 and 5. So yun na yung shortcut dun. 88 times 5 minus the sum of the other 4 scores. So the answer is 96. Correct. Pero mas mabilis kung medyo i-analyze naman na yung problem. Pero kung mas nadadalian naman kayo kasi multiply lang naman yun kung ilan yung scores. Then just subtract dun sa sum ng other scores. Okay, next. 5 positive numbers have a mean of 25. What is the average of the other 4 numbers if the average of the least and greatest of these values is 23.5? We have A, 24, B, 25, C, 26, and D, 27. So, in this type of problems, consider nyo yung sum. Yung sum, ano? O, kapag dun sa 5 positive numbers, what is the sum? If the mean is 25. So, multiply nyo lang. Okay. May nagsagot ba? May nag-join. O, diba? 5 times 25. Tapos, given naman yung average nung least and the greatest. Sa first value and the second and the last value, which is 23.5. You can also get the sum for that. Diba? So, makukuha nyo na yung average ng dalawa. So, malalaman nyo na yung average nung 4 numbers. At, wait lang, 3 numbers to. 3 numbers. So, subtract nyo lang yung sum ng 2 values from the sum of the other 5 numbers. So, let us have the solution. Okay? So, since the mean of the 5 numbers is 25, their sum is equal to 125. I-multiply nyo lang. 25 times 5, 125. That will be the sum. So, since alam yung mean din ang least and greatest, so we have 2. So, 23.5 times 2 is 47. So, ito yung total ng sum ng lahat ng numbers, 125, and sum nung dalawa, 47. So, ano yung matitira na sum? So, subtract lang natin yung sum ng 2 numbers from 125, that is 78. So, 78 divided by 3 is 26. So, hindi yung 4 numbers, 3 numbers. So, yun. The answer is 26. Ganun lang gagawin nyo doon. Kapag missing yung average nung hindi siya yung ini-add lang ha, iba yung magiging answer kapag ganun. So, consider nyo lagi yung sum kapag ganyan yung type of problem. Kapag part by part yung pagkuha ng mean, palaging sum. Okay? Next. In mathematics class of 28 students, 18 students have an average of 76, while the remaining 10 students have an average of 90. What is the overall average of the class? Okay, these are the choices. A, 78, B, 81, C, 86, D, 89. So again, parang katulad lang din ito nung kanina. Sum uli, yung sum. Then, after getting the two sums, divide nyo na by 28. So, just multiply 76 and 18 times, and then 90 and times 10, and just add, divide by the total number of students in the class, which is 28. What is the answer? Lang. 451 na pala. Okay, let's have here. 18 times 76 plus 10 times 90. So you have 1,368 plus 900. So the total is 2,268. So yun na yung sum ng lahat ng scores ng students. So after that, saka nyo siya i-divide ng 28. No, hindi nyo pwedeng kunin yung average lang ng 76 and 90. So may iba yung answer. So the answer is 81. Yes, letter B. Okay, ito na tayo sa probability. How many 4-digit numbers can be formed using the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 without repetition? These are the options. A, 96, B, 120, C, 240, and D, 625. Okay, so we will use here the fundamental counting principle. So since we need to form 4-digit numbers and one of the options here is 0, diba? Yung isang number, hindi pwedeng mag-start with 0. So, ilan lang yung magiging choices nyo for the first digit ng number. Kasi diba, pag 0 na, hindi na kinakount kapag andun siya sa unahan. So, how many options na lang for the first digit ng 4-digit number? You only have 4. Okay, exclude natin yung 0. Now, since without repetition, meaning hindi pwedeng maulit yung nandun sa first digit na. So, we need also to subtract 1. Diba? So, you have only 4 options sa second, And since without repetition nga, so subtract again ng 2 since we have 2 digits na already. And for the last digit, ng 4-digit number, we only have 2 options ng pamimilian. So just multiply this. So you have 4 times 4 times 3 times 2 equals 96. So if with repetition, meaning pwedeng maulit yung digits, so ang mangyayari dyan ay 4 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, hindi siya nababawasan. So ganito yung mga type ng problem kapag may without repetition or with repetition. All you have to do is to use the fundamental counting principle. Next, how many different ways can the letters in the word Philippines be arranged? Okay. Here's are the options. So, like the word committee, no? So, may nauulit na letters sa Philippines. This is just a permutation, the indistinguishable permutation. So, how many letters are there in the word Philippines? You have 11 factorial. And how many P are there? You have 3. Then, just count lang kung ilan yung letters, yung per letter, no? Then, again, the total of the denominator should be equal to the value of n. So, we have here 1,108,800, which is letter D. Next, in how many ways can you select? Magkulang to. In how many ways can you select 8 person to form a committee of 4? Again, in how many ways can you select 8 person to form a committee of 4? Okay. Can you? Ba't parang mali? Okay. So you have 8C4. From 8 person, no? Magsaselect ka ng 8 person, ay ng 4 person from 8 person. O, hindi pwedeng mabaliktad yung, hindi ka pwedeng mag-select ng 4, ng 8 sa 4, so baliktad. So 8C4. So that is, basta selection na, you have combination. So that is 8C4, that is 70. And for this problem, okay. So what is the probability of picking a queen or a heart from a standard deck of cards? So how many queen are there? There are, okay, these are the choices. How many queen are there? There are 4. How many hearts? Diba, we have 13. 13 yung heart dun sa deck of cards. And take note of their intersection because meron ng queen na heart. So subtract pa natin yung 1/52 from that. So you have 4 plus 13, 17 minus 1 is 16/52. And in lowest term, you have 4/13. So yun. So yun lang yung common mistake doon ha. Hindi na kukuha yung intersection ng 2 given events. Okay, next. So what is the probability of getting a sum of 5 when a pair of dice is rolled? So ano-ano ba yung mga sum ng 5? Lagi yung over 36, no? Then magbabago lang since nasa-simplify. So sum of 5, ang technique lang dito, mag-start lang kayo sa 1. So ano ba yung pwedeng i-pair sa 1 ang sum ay 5? So that is 4. So after ng 1, di followed by 2. So ano naman yung pwedeng i-pair sa 2 na ang sum ay 3? Ay, na ang sum ay 5 rather. So that is 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Next, after ng 2, you have 3 naman. So 3, 2, so that is 5. And last 4, 1. That is 4 plus 1 is 5. So magkaiba yun na pag magkabaliktad kasi we have the first die, the second die. So kailangan na mabalik na baliktad na 1, 4, 4, 1. So kakount pa rin natin yun. And yun lang yung possible since na yung next na number dito. Diba? 1, 2, 3, 5 na. O wala naman ang pwedeng wala naman 0 sa die. Diba? So you have only 4. 4/36 and in lowest term, 1/9. And for the last question, okay, the probability of not guessing the correct answer to a question is x/18. So if the probability of guessing the correct answer is 5/6, what is the value of x? So we will apply here the complements of an event. Okay, so sabi, not guessing daw is x/18. And the given probability here is the probability of guessing the correct answer. So if 5/6 yung probability of guessing the correct answer, So 1 minus 5 over 6, that is the probability of not guessing the correct answer, which is equal to 1 over 6. So you have here x over 18 equals 1 over 6. So ano ba yung number na yun? Na pag sinimplify ay magiging 1 over 6, diba? 3, because 18 divided by 3 is 6. So 3 over 18. So 1/6. Pwede rin yung 18 times 1, 18 divided by 6 is 3. So the answer is letter B, 3. Okay. These are the four. Okay. Let me say this to you. Now that you have decided to take the LET, so you have to make a promise, and more than that, you have to make a commitment to pass the LET. Okay, that will be all, and I hope you learned something from this review. Thank you. Sakto lang po ba yung time ko?
Ayan.
Almost
Thank you
5
very
na.
much, Ma'am Mayan. Okay lang yun. Oo,
Wait
at
lang
least
po.
ay natapos. Napakagaling talaga nito ni Miss Mayan. Very comprehensive, very organized, very clear. So, I hope sulit na sulit yung
Yeah,
yung
napagod
isang
ako.
araw na ibinigay na oras nitong mga reviewees natin. Okay? So imagine niyo math pero nai-present yan ng talagang very clear, talaga very organized. So I'm very happy to have Ma'am Mayan with us today for this review session. So thank you very much, Ma'am Mayan, ha. Huwag kang magsasawa kasi
Opo, ma'am.
next time ikaw ulit ang kukunin ko. Okay? Kasi si Ma'am Olivar baka mag-retire na siya. Tama, di ba?
Magre-retire na nga daw, ma'am.
Mag-retire na ata si Ma'am.
Sabi ko nga po, wag muna eh. Hindi ko pa po kaya mag-isa.
Kaya ka
Sabi ko sa
piniprepare, oo. Tinitrain ka na ikaw yung pumalit sa kanya. So, I'm very grateful. Okay, I'm very grateful and very glad to have you for this today's session. So, I'm sure all our reviewers for today learned a lot. As in, I think yung lahat ng mga slide, napakaliwanag. Kahit ako, tinitingnan ko, sabi ko, ang galing talaga ni Mayan magpaliwanag, mag-lecture.
Yep,
So,
ma'am.
Miss Mayan, may I request for a soft copy of your
Yes, ma'am, of course. Ayusin ko lang po yung ibang type. Chinek ko siya, pero talagang pag ikaw yung talaga yung nag-check din ng gawa mo, may nami-miss
Oo,
talaga.
minsan
Kasi ang dami, 200, 300,
Yes.
400 slides almost yung ginawa ko. Ang dami.
Wow, napakasipag. Ayan, hagayahin niyo si Mamian niyo ha sa
Naman,
kasipagan. Kasi
like,
ang math talaga, learn by doing yan, di ba? Hindi mo
yes,
basta lang
ma'am.
titingnan. Oo. Yan. So, thank you very much, Mamian. Sir Josh, magpa-picture tayo kasi kanina, iba yung natin, reviewees, so iba rin ngayon para may picture-picture tayo. So, open your camera, reviewees, para magpa-picture tayo kay Mamian. Ayan, yan para makita ko kayo. So, yan, 'di ba? Mga masisipag na alumni mga nandito. So, mag-iisip tayo ng reward dito sa mga masisipag na alumni na to and also yung mga undergrad students natin. Okay? Ayan, sige. Sir Josh, okay na ba? Nakaano na ba? Yung iba hindi naka-open. Parang hindi ko nakikita naka-open yung iba. Andito ba si Sir Josh? Okay, so yan may mga nagpapasalamat sa iyo, Mamian, ng mga
Thank you
reviewees
din.
natin.
Thank you din. It's really
Parang
a
wala
nice
si Sir Jo.
experience.
Ayun. Yan, andito siya, no? Okay, sige. So, Mayan ha, wag kang magsasawa talaga sa amin ha.
Opo,
Lalo na
ma'am.
sa kasi itong mga to may third year na tayo. So, next year kapag maayos na ang sitwasyon, I will invite you again, okay? For the review. Kasi mas maganda palagay ko yung face-to-face.
Yes, ma'am, ang hirap.
Oo.
Para ako magsasalita mag-isa. At least pag
Oo.
andyan sila, medyo
May
malalapitan.
interaction.
Oo, ma'am. Yun nga yung
Yes.
ayaw ko minsan.
Yes. Parang si Sir Josh ay busy, so ako na lang siguro ang mag-aano. Sir Josh, ako na lang yung magte-take ng picture. Okay? Sige. So,
Okay.
ilang slides ba tayo? Andito na
Parang
ba?
1, 2.
Sige. Bakit parang wala akong makitang ano, yung second slide. And, wait lang. Jervin, ikaw na nga, Jervin. Parang sa akin lahat naka-close. Iilan lang kayo naka-open.
Ma'am, ano lang po, 4. Ay,
Sino
5
naka-open lang? Hindi talaga sila naka-open.
Hindi po talaga.
Ay, hindi talaga. O sige, nahihiya sila. Okay, mahiya ako nga eh. Haggardness na pag-compute ng grades buong araw. Sige. Okay, sige. So, in the count of 3, yung mga naka-open. 4 lang pala tayo. Si Carmelo, si Jervin, ako, si Isha, ikaw. Sige. Okay, so in the count of 3, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ayan. Sige.
Yay.
Okay, so thank you very much ulit ha, Ma'am Mayan. And of
Thank you
course,
din,
all the
ma'am.
yes, oo. Na-attend pala siya ng ano, may ina-attend na pala si Sir Josh. Okay, sige, maraming salamat. Bye for now, but see you later, especially Ma'am Mayan next year. So, maraming salamat. Sige,
Po.
bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Sige, bye-bye.
Ma'am, sa
Mayan.
drive ko na lang po i-upload kasi malaki yung file size. Share ko na lang po yung
oo.
link.
Oo,
Kasi
sige,
medyo
oo.
ilang MB nga yun, malaki po. Sige,
Yes.
ma'am.